Hello, everyone. How's it going? You already know what it is? Jumping right back into this game. Just gotta open it. We're alive, it's working. Gonna have a good time. Mary saw this. This is every time you open the game. And the opening. There are those loud noises we know and love. So I was looking at the wiki for this game, and I forget. I'm sorry. Had a small brain moment. Smooth brain moment. But, I was looking at the wiki and it's like, each chapter takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete, and so far that's how it's been. About 3.5 hours, almost 4. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Encounter, Purgatory, Shangri-La, Mire, and Tooth. So let's go. Corpse Party, Book of Shadows, Chapter Encounter. Chapter 3, let's go. Let's see, Tension 5, Is it a 23 or is it 33? Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning and of course it stopped working. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing our shopping date. Tenjin 523, number 11. Found it. As long as it doesn't actually read 633, number 77, anyway. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. If that's 20 years old, I'm 22. Shit, I must be old looking. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. Apparently 207, or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from a teacher no less. And anyway, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startlingly narrow, steep stairs. Y'all know the memo, I can't fucking read. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Are teacher salaries really that low? Yes. I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. Ouch. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201. Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yui's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. Guess that means we tried door number 2. Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up strollers, plastic toys, and bundled up newspapers. And then finally I arrived at the last door. Bingo. This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read Shishido. For an adult's handwriting, essentially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. She's barely an adult, she's only 23. Hello, sorry I wasn't able to make it last time. Oh, it's fine. Welcome in, Jody. How are you? Never apologize. Use your time wisely and go live life. This is Miss Yui's place, alright. What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate. Beware of cat? Shouldn't that be beware of dog? That's Miss Yui for you. So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be that threatening? Do not the cat. Exactly, do not the cat, and do not the dog. At any rate, I'd be confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yui's place, so my errand was nearing its end. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? That just seemed weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. He'd said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read these? My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I'd become acutely aware of the inherent value in these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me after all. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited and waited and waited some more, but there was no answer. Huh? It did ring, didn't it? Yui-sensei! Miss Yui! I rang the doorbell again and also tried calling out. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we'd heard that Miss Yui was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she's doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her, though. Yui-sensei! Yui-sensei! Miss Yui, Miss Yui. Nothing, huh? Miss Yui, hello? Yui-sensei. She was probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something, but what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. I thought maybe I can get a glimpse of the room inside. Miss Yui? It felt wrong, It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone else's house without their permission, but I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Meow. Huh? Oh, the cat. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. Meow? Sonic the Hedgehog? And since Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name. You're Morit, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. Yeah, Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yui talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on the shelf in the classroom, probably because she'd bought too much and had no room for them in her apartment. Hey, kitty, kitty. Monet. Is Miss Yui home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Hallucinogens go hard when the cat speaks to you. Period. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. Damn, I sure hope Miss Yui's alright. She's probably just out right now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in this speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. With a quick twist, I turned it and pushed the door, opening it easily. Huh? It wasn't locked? Crap, that's not good. I can't let Monet get out. Your master is pretty careless, not leaving the door unlocked like that. Monet's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entryway. What's that you say? She purr is? You and I are on the same page, Monet. Here I was, talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? I mean, I'm a talking cat, so... What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone else's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this is where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed the line, but leaped over it. Yui-sensei? Miss Yui? I tried calling her name one last time, but as expected, there was no answer. So what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that, there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear, no signs of life whatsoever. Miss Yui really must have been out. One more time I tried calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed silent. Miss Yui, it's Mochida. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of the door. Let's just have a little look-see then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside, that was just too much. Man, if Miss Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense, scalding water. Monet mewed as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there. Oh, great. I can just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just use some notebook paper. Let's see, Miss Yui. Crouching the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment. Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it, but now I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Huh? Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. Miss Yui? She was looking right at me, but she seemed, decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. Look, I know you're making, an observation, but, you know, just... why you gotta read her to filth when she's standing right in front of you? At this point, I'm used to the moaning. Yeah, pretty much. She was like a completely different person from the usual kept educator we'd come to know and love. Dude, teachers have lives. The first time when I was a little kid, I saw my they come at really weird times. Yeah, the first time when I was a really little kid and I saw my teacher out of school, I was like, shit, you don't sleep there? You have a life? And she was like, yeah, what the fuck did you think I did outside of being at school? And I was like, nothing. The usual kept educator would come to know and love. Miss Yui, I'm so sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here. I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But... Huh? Miss Yui was just standing there, stupefied, with a completely vacant expression on her face. Miss Yui? I called out to her as gently as I could, but... She was really dazed. Dude, I don't think she's sick. Either she's either sick or she's hungover. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yui, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... this just seemed to make her cough. Okay, she is sick. These were wet, productive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. Great. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time was just not quick enough. Does your teacher ever spit on you? I put her hand to her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva. Don't touch her, you freak. Are you okay, Miss Yui? Miss Yui hobbled back a little, then fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time. Miss Yui. Wiping the spatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was sick as could be. I'm cold. Cold, but you're dripping with sweat. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face as red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up. Don't touch her! Just leave! Miss Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Mochida from school. Huh? If you're cold, they need to sleep under your covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopened her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind. Miss Yui, Tsukasa. What? Fan service, fan service. Tsukasa. Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep. You've come for me, Tsukasa? Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Yui, wait, you've got the wrong person. It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. At the sensation of her chest as she held me, I was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. She got that gorilla grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I'd never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. Do not touch her! God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I'd anticipated, and wouldn't let me get away. I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared. Scared? I never thought you'd actually come. As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably. Miss Yui, please let go. No, I won't. Come on, Miss Yui. I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined, and every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer. Tsukasa. As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. Stop. I don't need to know. I could feel the heat of her face radiating off of her steadily encroaching face, as well as the shoulders I had grabbed in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Yui crying, and who was this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. Miss Yui, your pajamas, your pants. Huh? They're sliding down. Tsukasa, you're so warm. Miss Yui, please. Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed resignedly. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated? Miss Yui, seriously, pull yourself together. I put more strength into my resistance, and finally, her arms relaxed, just the tiniest bit, but her expression changed drastically. No, no, please. Miss Yui, I'm Satoshi Moshida, not the Please don't go, please. Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still been wearing, again, I drew closer to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her here like this. I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently wheeling her over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama bottoms and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow with sweat. Sorry, y'all, I live with family, so, you know, if you hear a sound from the background, it's family. And, you know, I tell them, hey, I'm streaming, but, you know, apparently everyone needs to call me and text me the moment that I am doing something. It's so fun, love it here. I'd done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I am a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. Okay, what about lesbians? Seiko exists. Oh wait, no, she fucking died, sorry. Seiko existed. Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far. Wish I could find a towel or something so I could at least wipe some of the moisture away. Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor, I glanced inside. Hey, Shari bought cold packs? I will be lurking. Enjoy your lurk. Why wasn't she using them? Jeez. Miss Yui, this might be a little cold, but bear with me, okay? Anyway, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compressions on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contently, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering. Oh, Monet, were you worried about your master? I don't blame you. When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea that it would be this bad. Monet had coiled up onto my legs without me noticing. I began, absent-mindedly speaking to him. He muted in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui. So, what do I do now, Miss Yui? Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond. But, Miss Yui? Miss Yui's hand had slipped out from under her futon and was gently grasping my pant leg. Hey. Her grip was much weaker than before, but I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yui just seemed really lonely. Well, I guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged, and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad way. Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I'd noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all. I wonder if she's eaten anything. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw her pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food. I see someone's eating well around here, huh? Even delirious with fever, she's still taking really good care of you. That's not good, Miss Yui. You should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a wry smile. When I'd pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick. There's rice and eggs at least. Maybe I'll make egg porridge or something. Miss Yui, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half-pained, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question. Don't think I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Monet? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? Excellent, thank you. Monet's cries helped assuage my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing. Excuse me, please, Miss Yui, I'm going to need to get up. I gently peeled off, one by one, each of her fingers latched onto my pant leg. The expression on her face changed as I was doing, so. From contented rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up. Alright, let's see what I can do then, shall we? As I stood up, Monet mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. And Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. Book of Shadows, Episode 3, Encounter. Come on, Yui. Of course, I just got sprayed. Sorry, I've got a real tingle in my nose today for some reason. Honestly. Tissues. Where'd I put them? Oh wow, did I get that much on you? Here, use one of mine, it's the least I can do. Great, don't mind if I do. What? She was talking to me. May I have one too, please? Let's see, here we go. Thanks. You guys really should keep extras with you, you know. Well, sorry. Honestly. So, what were we talking about again? You remember we were talking about what it's like to be seniors now. Oh, I know, right? Can it really be just one more year before we graduate? Well, graduation is important. Don't forget there's life afterward to think about as well. Our careers. No, I really don't want to think about that. Well, there is a reason we've been subjected to all those career counseling sessions, and it's because our futures are just big question marks right now. No kidding, what are we doing with our lives? It's scary. Any ideas, Yui? You have plans for the future? Actually, I've got it all figured out. What? You won't leave us hanging out with a girl? Well... My name is Yui Shishido. I'm 17, and my dream is to be a teacher. Oh my god! It's young Miss Yui. Let's go. We're learning the past. I butt into the lives of others without a second thought, and I spend most of my time doing nothing important. Shit, what'd she say? But I believe that even someone like me can make her dreams come true with enough hard work. Kiss Your Guy Academy, 5 years ago. Miss Yui, Sag. Oh no. Yeah, I remembered. She dies in the first game. Is she gonna die again? Or can we change her fate? I mean, technically we can't, because, you know, Chapter 1 of this game, Steel, Sachiko said, you know, no matter how many timelines you go through, you're, like, no matter how many times you try to save Seiko or your friends, they'll just die in worse and worse ways the more you try to save them. Because, you know, fucking Seiko got hung in the last game, and now in this game, she got fucking decapitated. So... I guess Miss Yui will fucking die in a worse way in this game. But hey, Social, welcome in. How are you? The cherry blossoms were in bloom, and the rustling wind carried with it the soft warmth of the season. I was a high school senior now, and was devoting myself to my studies in preparation for the day my dream could become reality. And that dream was to become an English teacher. My grades were on the fence for getting into the university I wanted, though. So my best bet was to score a special recommendation from the academy. Yeah, that was a lucky break. When I got called into the office, I had no clue what it might be about. After school one day, I was summoned to the teacher's staff room. I was freaking out that maybe I failed or my grades weren't good enough for the school I wanted to go to, or something terrible like that. Doing good, just eating dinner currently. Hell yeah, what are you eating? But it turned out my fears were all for naught. You have no rival in our academy, they said, so if you keep working hard, we'll be happy to give you a recommendation. Man, was that ever a pick-me-up. I feel like I could take on the world now. I'm going to have to make sure I don't let this chance slip me by. So, this trash can, why exactly is it so ridiculously heavy again? Carrying this beast to the dumpster is going to be the death of me. Hey. It's some spiky hair anime dude. Some chicken tacos and rice. Damn, I want chicken tacos and rice. Lucky. I turned around, still holding the garbage can. The voice belonged to a male student I had never spoken with before. I'd seen him around a lot, though. His name was Tsukasa Mikuni, from class 7. Watch your step, there's a root sticking out of the ground here, and it's pretty easy to trip on. Huh? What? Ow. Hey, what's the big idea laughing at someone else's misfortune? Well, it's not funny. Shouldn't you be asking if I'm okay or something? My bad, my bad. You don't have to help me clean up. You'll get your hands dirty. Don't worry about it. It's the least I can do after laughing like that. Thanks. No problem. That should be everything, right? Yeah, looks like it. Cool, let's go then. Huh? I remember it well, even now. This is my first time talking with Tsukasa. And he left a strong first impression on me. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a problem. Give me a second. Okay, this is my first time talking with Tsukasa, and he left a strong impression on me. That's really kind of you. Isn't it heavy, though? Not especially. I am the one assigned to take it. Maybe I should. It's fine, really. There, everything in its place. Thank you so much. You were a huge help. Catch you around. Hey, hold up. Hmm? I feel like I should do something for you in return. Don't worry about it. Your thanks is plenty. Look, just wait here a second, okay? Making a new friend is always great, but when it happens to be Tsukasa Mikuni, it's all the better. He kind of been on my mind for a while. There we go. Most of the times I'd seen Tsukasa before this were in the school courtyard. He spent a lot of time sitting there alone on a bench. Even after school or during summer vacation, if I happened to pass by, I would always see him there. And after this little encounter, we'd go on to make many fond memories together. Yet somehow the image of Tsukasa that stands out most in my mind is of him seated alone on the courtyard bench. This game is more visual novel-esque. I kind of like it. Yeah, they go back to the roaming freely around in Blood Drive. So I kind of like the versatility of the games changing. Like, the first game is more free roam. This one is more visual novel. And then Blood Drive kind of incorporates both into it, being free roam and visual novel. I'm guessing that's how they're going to continue it, because with Dead Patient, or Corpse Party 2 Dead Patient, I saw that it's more like free roam, but I'm guessing they're integrating free roam / visual novel together. For you, I hope Cafe Olé is alright. Sure, I guess. Everything's fine, really. Thanks. You know, it's customary when receiving a gift to quietly accept it without any offhanded remarks. Well, aren't we a stickler for tradition? We walked to the bench together, sat down, and began making small talk. That courtyard bench was sort of a mystical place. The leaves rustled over your head, and if you closed your eyes and opened your ears, it felt as if though you were in the middle of some forest. And if you looked straight up, the sunlight poured in through the leaves, and you almost felt like you were in another world. This is the first time I've ever actually sat on one of these benches. It's pretty nice, right? Yeah, it really is.
だからなの
Oh, so is that why?
え
Huh?
この時間とか
Well, you come here an
昼休み
awful
とか
lot,
よく
right?
ここにいる
Like
でしょ
even after school and during summer vacation.
あ
I sure
この
do.
場所好きなんだね
So you must really like this place
あ
then,
まあ
huh?
ね
Yeah, I guess I do. Well then, there we go. The leaves rustled as a gentle breeze blew between us. We were both silent for a bit, but strangely, it didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable.
聞かないのか
So, aren't you going to ask? Ask
い
what?
つも一人で
What I'm
何
always
してん
doing
だ
here by myself or something.
この場所
You're
が
always here
好きだ
because you like the
から
spot, right?
いつも
そうだけどさ
Well, yeah.
他に何か
Is there some other reason then? Not really.
じ
So
ゃ
what
あ
would be the point of me
そうだけど
asking? Well, you've got me there, but people normally ask me if it's boring being here by myself. Or tell me they don't get it. Say I'm a weirdo or something. Really? I don't know. I guess I don't really think of it that way. The way I see it, if you can like it here,
ここが
then
好きなら
why not come here
一人
whenever
で
you
いたっ
want?
て別に変じゃないよね
お前
Guess that makes you the weirdo then.
いや
What?
そんな顔しなくて
Hey,
も
don't make that face. Coming from me, that's a compliment. What? Calling someone a weirdo is supposed to be a compliment? Yes.
そうそう
If someone told me I was normal, I'd literally punch them in the face. Don't ever tell me I'm normal. Disgusting. You bet it is.
なんか納得いかない
I'm not sure I buy that.
もう
You're mean. The expression on Tsukasa's face was a dead giveaway that he really enjoyed talking to me. Normal! And I've always loved the feeling I get when I know my words helped brighten someone's day. I must have been sporting one hell of a goofy smile at that moment.
本当はさ
Actually, there's a place at the school that I like even more than here. Oh, where's that? Imagine being a normie couldn't be us. Period.
秘密
I'm not telling. What?
とっておきだからな
It's my special place. Which means it must be a totally awesome place, right? Yep.
いいな
I really want to see it. Come on.
ダ
No
メ
way, I can't spill the beans that easy. Besides, the view there isn't nearly as
司
consistent.
君は笑いながら
Laughing,
紙パッ
Tsukasa
クを
finished up his
ジュースに
drink,
飲み干
then
す
grabbed the now empty trash can he carried to the
目
dumpster
の
for
前
me.
にあったゴミ
コーヒーをおごってもらったしな
You treated me to a copy, so please allow me to take this up to the classroom for you.
いいの
What? Are you sure? You bet.
ありがとう
Thanks. I'm in
4
class
組だろ
class
知って
4,
るよ
if I'm not
シシ
mistaken.
ドユイっつったら
You're the famous
有
Yui
名だから
Shishido after all. Huh? How did you...
今から先生みたいな女子がいるって12クラス全部で有名だよ
You're that girl who already looks like she could be a teacher. I don't think there's a student in any of our 12 classes who doesn't know your name. What?
それから私と司くんは何度か中庭で会っては話をした校舎の中では
From then on,
ほとんど話すことがないのに
Tsukasa and I met in that courtyard many times. We didn't really talk in the halls, but something about that place spurred our conversation.
あまたお前コーヒー牛乳かよ
Cafe au lait again? Yep.
好きすぎだろコーヒー牛乳
Doesn't that get a little
そ
old?
んなことない
Not really.
1日に最低
You
2
drink
本
at
は
least
飲
2 a
んで
day
る
though, right?
なんで知って
Hey,
る
how'd you know
自販機で
that?
いつもそれ買ってる
Seen it
の
with my own eyes. There's a perfect view of the vending machine from here after all. There is?
そっち見てみ
Girl, it's right there. Yeah, I mean, it's right there.
本当だ
Oh wow, no
昼休
kidding.
みも放課後も
Doesn't matter if it's after school or summer break, Shishido buying cafe au lait is like old faithful. You could set your watch by it.
そんなことを言
Well
った
then,
ら
I guess we're even, since I always see you sitting on this
い
bench.
や知ってるけど
What, you're back on that again? Sure,
お互い
sure am. Am I guessing? I guess I just find it interesting that we both took notice to each other's quirky habits.
なんだそれ
Weirdo.
中庭での会話
Our
は
conversations in the courtyard were usually just silly. It was like talking to a good friend in
教室で
class.
友達と
Shallow,
繰り広げ
but
る会話みたいに
genuinely
あ
enjoyable.
まり中身がなくてこの場所
So it's so cool here, even in
夏
summer.
とか言うな
Yo, thank you for the moon sticker.
夏嫌い
You don't like it?
夏季講習が目前に迫ってたら
Not with summer school right around the corner. That'd be enough to make anyone run for the hills. I guess so, but we're seniors now. It comes with territory, you know? The time for fun and games is over.
夏だからって遊んで
お前は随分と楽しそ
I
う
don't
だ
know,
け
you
ど
seem like you're still having a lot of fun to me.
夢に
Well, I'm a
近づい
bit
て
of
る
a special
って
case.
実感
I'm
でき
just
て
happy
嬉しいよ
because I feel like my dream might actually come true. Coin.
私ね
Oh?
人
I
に
just
勉強
enjoy
を教
teaching
える
things to
の
people
好
and
きな
having others depend on me.
なんで
Why is
お
that?
姉さんになった
I
感
guess
じ
it
が
makes
す
me
る
feel
か
like
ら
a big
かな
sister or something.
ほら
And
私
since
一人っ
I'm
子
an
だし
only child, you know.
あ
Oh, okay, well, good luck with that
は
then.
すっごいどうでもよさ
Wow,
そう
that was about as dismissive a comment as you can get.
だって人事
Hey,
だし
not like I can do anything about it, you know?
そんなことを言いながらも
Despite his occasional
司君はやっ
boorishness,
ぱ
I
り
still
優
felt
しか
that,
った
felt that
だって
Tsukasa
私の
was a
夢
kind
を
soul.
笑った
If
りは
nothing
しなか
else,
った
he
か
never
ら
actually laughed at my
先
dream.
生になりたい
In
って
high
いう
school
夢を
crowd,
話すと
most people don't get,
大抵の人は笑ったり
don't take you
茶化
very
したり
seriously
あ
when
ま
you
り
say you're
真
trying
剣
to
に
become a
聞いてくれ
teacher.
ないだけど司君は一度も笑わなかったん
Tsukasa
だ
just wasn't like most people, I guess. The season was quickly turning to autumn. After the school day ended, the senior floor was always a lot more quiet than its underclassmen counterparts. Everyone was off studying hard at the library or with tutors. So one day, thinking no one else was around, I sat down in a lonely corridor of the hallway. Initially, I had grabbed my shoes and left the classroom, intending to head home, but along the way I just started crying. I was overwhelmed. My sobs echoed from one end of the hallway to the other.
この日私は無事に志望校の推薦枠に入れてもらえることになった
That day, I had finally received a special recommendation to my top choice
嬉し
university.
くて仕方がなかった
I was so
私は
excited, I just wanted to tell someone, so I told my friend Tomoe.
けれど
But her usual
いつもなら
supportive
手放
demeanor
しで
took a somewhat
喜んで
harsher
くれる
edge.
私の前でそんなこと言
Quit
うんだ
rubbing it in my face. You know I'm still totally undecided about my future, right?
多分
My expression must have changed pretty drastically. Tomoe's eyes suddenly widened and she quickly
だから
apologized.
私も笑って
So I smiled and told her I didn't care. That's what I
そう
said
言ったんだけれ
anyway.
ど気にしてないわけがない
But how couldn't I care? Tomoe's dismissive words
鋭い
struck
針
me
の
like
よ
a
うに
dagger to my chest.
私考えな
I'm
くな
so
ったのかな
insensitive sometimes.
他
I
のみ
wonder
ん
if
なも
everyone else feels the same about me. I kept wiping the tears from my face, only for new ones to take their place immediately. Why didn't I think of this sooner? So many people were still facing uncertain futures, with no real goals in mind, and I was completely oblivious to it. I was the one with the dream, running around like the cock of the walk, and blabbing about my successes and aspirations. I wouldn't blame them if they hated me. I'm really struggling with reading. Could someone that insensitive to the feelings of so many people really become a teacher? Did I ever even have what it takes to begin with?
シシド
Shishido?
声をかけられて振
I
り向く
quickly
と
turned toward the voice that had called out to me and found Tsukasa
い
standing
つ
there.
もは廊下であっても言葉を交わすことなんてないの
We
に
never said a word before when passing each other in the hall, but he spoke to me that day with no reservations, as if we were old chums.
つ
Tsukasa,
すごい顔だぞ
your face is a mess. Do you need a handkerchief? Yeah,
じゃあ顔拭けよ
then wipe your face. The Tigger, thank you for following. Welcome, I'm Moon. I'm a virtual VTuber. My character's BCat. I play video games because I'm a gamer. That was cringe. That never happened. Don't mind me. Welcome in. Poi Poi is Tiki from VR chat. Yo, hey Tig, welcome in. Good to see you here. We're on chapter 3 of Corpse Party Book of Shadows. I'm having a pretty good time with it so far.
司君
How
が
are
戸
you?
惑っている空気がひしひしと伝
Tsukasa's
わってきた
concern and confusion
彼
was
を困ら
clearly
せた
written
く
on
な
his
かった
face.
から
I didn't want to
私は
cause him
こ
any
ぼれ落ちてい
trouble or
こうとす
worry
る
him,
涙を
so I
必死
began
に拭う
frantically wiping my eyes.
何かあったのか
Did something happen? No, everything's
何
fine.
かあったからそんなに
I'm
泣いた
crying
ん
an
だ
awful lot for someone who's got no
これは
problems. No, it's just there was a little misunderstanding
友
between a
達と
friend
で
and I.
もすぐに仲
Ooh,
直り
nice,
したから
nice.
大丈
But
夫
we patched it up right away.
これはさ
So it's alright, really.
そう嬉しい
These are, you know, something like
みたいなも
tears
の
or
だから
happiness, I guess. Tiggy, all good, thanks. Comfy lurk time. Yeah, enjoy the lurk. Thank you for lurking.
ふん
Hmm?
嬉し涙って言え
Yep,
ば
see,
ね
I just found out.
推薦枠
I
に
got
入れることになっ
that
た
rec. I'm not sure if I did it out of respect for Tsukasa, or just because I wanted to change the subject, but I cut myself off mid-sentence. I was doing it again. What was I thinking? Now even Tsukasa was going to hate me for being a braggart. What's a braggart? I guess a brag? Whatever. Hell, I hated myself. I was the worst, just the worst. But...
マジか
Whoa, really? He was happy for me? A bit taken aback, I nodded firmly.
やったじゃんか
You did it then, congrats. Yeah, thanks.
ありが
Thank you.
だから
So what's with the waterworks?
まだ推薦枠が決まったってだけ
Even with the recommendation, you still have to take an entrance exam, right? Yeah.
嬉し泣きするほど喜ぶには
So isn't it a little early to be crying tears of joy? Yeah, maybe so.
でも
I was just really happy that you congratulated me.
たく
Oh, come on now.
ごめんね
Sorry.
何が
For what?
泣いたりして
For crying like this without even knowing why.
そう思ってんなら早
If
く
you don't know why you're doing it, then how about you hurry up and dry those eyes? Sure, I think I'm fine now anyway. I swear. As I rubbed my swollen eyes, a smile broke through, and Tsukasa let out an exasperated sigh. Then, as if suddenly remembering something, his eyes lit up.
そうだ獅子堂
Oh, hey, wait here a sec. Okay. Tsukasa ran into his classroom, quickly reappearing into the hall again just moments later. He was holding something.
お前にこれやるよ
鉛筆
Here, I want you to have this. A pencil? In his outstretched hand rested a short, stubby little pencil. Not the sort of thing you'd expect someone to go out of their way to lend you. It was poked here and there with small scratches, but it still seemed to be in relatively decent shape, considering how obviously well worn
受
it
験
was.
必勝鉛
A
筆
pencil for guaranteed success. Guaranteed success.
これ使うと試験に受かるんだよ
Use it on your test and you'll pass for sure. What, really?
ああ
Yep, they told me I never passed the entrance exam for Kizuraga Academy, but, well, here I am, and I went all to this pencil. So this is the same pencil you were using back then.
使った鉛筆なんだ
Back when you took your high school application tests?
そう経験
Sure
新
is,
た
it
かな
really
鉛筆だぜ
jerked out a miracle.
霊言新たか
I assume you mean worked out a miracle, right? Not that that's a thing either.
あそれだ
Yeah, that. At any rate, I shall happily take you up on your kind offer. Thanks.
言っとくけど
But listen, I'm only lending it to you until you finish your test. You have to give it back afterwards so I can use it for my entrance exams. Okay.
だから
And whatever you do, don't fail the exam. Right.
鉛筆を受け取り
I took the pencil and nodded, smiling this time. Tsukasa returned my
人の気
smile.
持ちまで
You're a really unique person, you know that? It's hard to believe how much you let other people's problems get to you. You'll make an amazing teacher. What? For a moment, I had no idea what he was talking about, but then it hit me. Tsukasa had somehow sussed out from our conversation that I was crying because I'd upset Tomoe. And he was turning that fact to offer me
頑張
encouragement.
れよ
Good luck, don't let it get to you.
頑張れって言
I
葉
heard you shouldn't wish someone luck in times of stress, as it just adds more pressure, but that's why people tell actors to break a leg instead.
けれど私は
But I didn't care, taboo or no, I cherished his kind words. I'll do my best, Tsukasa.
司くん
お
Glad to hear it.
私
That's
は
when I really started to fall for him.
全然そっけなくて
But it didn't seem like he noticed, and there wasn't really any indication that he felt the same anyway. I can still clearly recall the events of that day, even now. It was October, the day before my entrance exam. The weather outside had been miserable since morning, and visibility was all but non-existent. It would be a bad omen if I were to slip and fall on the day before the exam, so I decided I'd wear boots to school just to be
行
safe.
きます
See you later. Huh? When I opened the door, I was shocked to see a white-haired old woman lying on the ground, soaked to the bone. I frantically rushed over to her side.
おばあさん
Are you okay?
しっかりしてください
Stay with me. Come on, tell me what happened.
まさかひき逃げとか
Was it a hit and run? The road running by my house was narrow, mostly used only by our neighbors. But it's not like it was closed off to the outside traffic or anything, so a hit and run wasn't out of the question. I looked over the old woman's body as best as I could. Fortunately, there was no signs of any serious injury.
事故とかじゃないみたい。
It doesn't seem like a car accident, at least.
娘
Young lady.
はい。
Yes? You must not go to school today. What? You absolutely must not go. Huh? The old woman raised herself up slightly and spoke hoarsely. From the tone in her voice, she seemed terribly desperate.
の
But I have to. Today's my last chance to practice
今日は面接の最後の練習
for a college
が
entrance interview. No, just stay home. Don't go.
そういうわけ
I
には
have to
い
go.
か
The
ない。
interview is the part of the exam I'm worst at.
それよりおばあちゃん
Please tell me what's
どうしたの
wrong. Where's your family? Will you? Will I?
どうしても
Will you go no matter what?
うん
Yeah. In that case, please. Not knowing what to say, I nodded apprehensively as the old woman began digging through her pockets. She produced what looked to be a crumpled scrap of paper. As she was digging around, I noticed that her breathing had become dangerously ragged, and began considering my options to assist her. Really, I should have gone back into the house and called my mom, but there was something about her that kept me glued to the spot. I sensed desperation hiding in that unbroken gaze. You must take this. What is it? A charm.
お守り
A charm? The old woman clutched my wrist and forcefully pressed the scrap of paper into my palm. Tilting my head, I unfolded the scrap and looked carefully at it. At first, I thought I'd just been handed a piece of trash. What? But then I unfolded it all the way. I saw it was actually a paper doll in the shape of a human being. And there was a name written on its torso. Yui Shishido. Yes, my name written plainly as day, in easily legible brushed strokes.
どうして
Why is my name on it? So it can protect you. Huh? If you don't write the name of the person you wish to protect, the charm won't work. Crazy. This was all crazy. I didn't understand any of it. Save for one simple fact. This old woman was here specifically to give me this strange paper charm. As far as I was aware, we were total strangers to one another, but she clearly knew both my name and my address. No.
あの
I'm sorry, I know you came a long way to give this to me, but I don't want it. You don't want it? As I extended my arm to return the paper doll, I could sense her entire demeanor had changed. She raised her body up unsteadily from the wet asphalt. Why not?
あの
Damn it, Yui, have some intuition. Exactly. Well,
わしが身を
I've nearly killed myself bringing this to you. Why will no one listen to me?
受け取ら
You
ぬ
must
なら
not enter Heavenly Host Elementary without this charm.
人称
Heavenly Host Elementary? Yes, you must not go. Don't go. As the old woman cried out, the paper doll fluttered lightly to the ground. Almost instantaneously, it became soaked through with rainwater. My name began to run and quickly turned into an illegible black smudge. Seeing this, the old woman grabbed and tore at her hair. No, the charm. The way out has been lost. Ma'am, please calm down. Listen, you must not go to Heavenly Host
待って
Elementary.
おばあちゃ
I
ん
think there's been some mistake. My school is Kisara Guy Academy High. I've never even heard of Heavenly Host Elementary. Ma'am? Oh god. Mom, come quick. What's wrong? An old woman collapsed in front of our house. Call an ambulance. Okay. Paramedics arrived in a matter of minutes. The old woman seemed to be unconscious by that point, however, so the EMTs brought out a stretcher. Do either of you know this woman? No, she just collapsed in front of our house. We've never seen her before. Alright.
では付き添いで乗車はされませんか？
Would you be willing to ride with her in the ambulance? The idea of making this old woman go to the hospital by herself just seemed like it would have been a shameful thing to do. Sure, she was a stranger, but we had a lengthy conversation mere minutes before, so I couldn't very well say we had nothing to do with one another. Yui, you need to get to school. What? But... Don't worry, I'll go with her to the hospital. You have to practice for the interview today, right? Yeah, I guess I do.
じゃあお母さん
Thanks, Mom. I'll leave her with you then. Good luck. I was a little hesitant, but I knew I really had to go to school today, no matter what. So I left the strange woman in my mom's care, and heading towards school, walked right by her stretcher. Huh? Suddenly, a hand rose from the limp form of the old woman and grabbed my skirt. Startled, I tried to jump away, but I found myself ensnared by her terrible bloodshot eyes. You must not go. After school, once my final practice interview had concluded, I reunited with my friends and engaged in the usual regimen of gossip and small talk.
ってことがあって
Can you believe that? That's really scary.
それ
The hell was wrong with her? When I described the events of that morning, everyone's eyebrows rose. They were hanging on every word and yelping in unison at key moments. Yui, maybe you should have stayed home today after all.
だって今日は面接の
Well,
最後
but I
の
had
ラッシュ
to
があるから
practice
どうして
to
も
practice the interview. I couldn't miss that, you know. I just hope nothing bad happens. Oh, come on, what could happen? Oh, you know what?
天神症って言葉が
Whenever you mentioned Heavenly Host Elementary, I thought it sounded kind of familiar. I just realized why. You know the Seven Wonders, right? Seven Wonders, you mean those urban legends about Kisaragai?
そうそう
Yeah, those.
天神症って
Does Heavenly Host Elementary have some connection to them?
放課後のヨシエさん
One of the stories is called Yoshi After School. Ever heard of it? Oh, Yoshi, that's Sachiko's mom.
知らない
Definitely not.
私も知らないよ
I've never heard of it either. What's it all about?
如月学園が建て
Well,
ら
it
れる
takes
前に
place at Heavenly Host Elementary, which once occupied this same plot of land where Kisaragai Academy now stands. Oh, okay.
その天神小学
It said that one day after school, a female teacher who had been patrolling the grounds slipped and fell down the stairs and died. We know she didn't slip. She was pushed by the principal. And then he killed himself.
その日は10月の
The accident took place on a rainy October day, just like this one, and occurred just after 7 at night. And suddenly Yoshi still appears on days like this. Never unaware that she died at Heavenly Host these many years ago. She now walks the halls of Kisaragai Academy, believing them to be her own. Oh, come on. No, this isn't true.
まあ
Well, it wouldn't be one of the Seven Wonders if someone hadn't actually seen it happen, right? It's really creepy.
今日はもう
Why don't you head home, Yui? You're the only one who doesn't live nearby, so we can't walk with you. And given the stuff that old woman said to you,
お年
yeah,
寄
it's
りの
always
忠告は聞い
best
てお
to
く
heed
も
the
んだよ
warnings of the elderly. You might be right. I'm still feeling kind of on edge. Probably best to go home and check in
そ
with
れじゃあ
Mom.
先に帰るね
I'll see you guys later then. Bye. See ya.
気をつけてね
Take care.
明日ファイト
Give
だ
it
よ
everything you've got tomorrow. I will.
私は慌てて荷物を
I quickly packed up my things and rushed out of the classroom.
夕方5時になるとこ
It was already about 5. It was getting dark out, but if Kana's story was to be believed, I had until 7 before anything bad might happen. As I continued wending my way down the corridor, I just kept telling myself there's nothing to be afraid of. Even so, it felt like it took an extra long time to reach the shoe lockers.
あーダメだやっぱり怖い
Man, I'm such a scaredy cat. Oh,
よ
hey
し
Shishiro.
母さん
Tsukasa.
今は帰りか
Heading home? Yep.
なんだよその
What's with the big grin? It's nothing. Hey, why don't we walk together, at least part of the way?
一緒に
Oh,
Sure, I don't mind. Great.
司くんの顔を見たら一瞬だけだけど怖かったのが吹き飛んだこういう時男の子
When I looked at Tsukatsu's face, my fear vanished, if for but a moment. These are the times when it's really nice to have boys around, I thought.
そばにいてくれたら
I felt that as long as he was by my side, nothing bad could happen.
それが
It didn't hurt that I had a crush on him, of course.
雨は朝よりも弱まっ
The rain had let up since the morning, though it was still coming down. The two of us walked side by side, umbrellas held high. Tsukasa was talking and laughing excitedly the whole time, whereas I probably came off as preoccupied. I'm sure it was awkward. A vague sense of fear flickered inside me, and it was making me extraordinarily self-conscious. I'm certain it must have been reflected in my behavior.
シシド
Shishido? Hmm?
なんかお前
You looked kind of pale. Did something happen?
おい
Hey.
実は
Yeah, something scary happened.
怖いこと
Something
私
scary?
の様子があま
I
りに
probably
おかしか
seemed
った
really
の
on
で
edge. Tsukatsu was staring at me with this look of abject concern on his face. I was a little relieved that he'd asked,
ちょっと嬉しくなる
and it felt good to tell him about what happened.
今抱えている恐怖を
I filled him in on all the details and explained how they related to Kana's ghost story. I did my absolute best to convey the dread I was feeling. But Tsukasa was, well,
は
the seven wonders of Kisaragai High, huh? Yeah. So you actually believe in that stuff? Sometimes I wish I could see the world through your eyes. What?
あ
Hmm?
司くんは
You don't think it's
怖い
scary?
っていうか
It's weird, sure,
妙だとは
but I wouldn't
思う
call it scary, as I wouldn't
でも
worry about
その
what the
謎
old
のおば
woman
あちゃん
said
と
to you.
七不思議なんて
I'm sure it's just
単なる偶然だろ
coincidence,
でも
but
あんま深く考えない方
wouldn't
が
it
い
be
いん
better
じゃ
not
ね
to dwell on it either way?
そのばあちゃんは確
I
か
mean,
に
your
気味
encounter
悪い
with
けどさ
with her sounds like it was kind of unsettling. She was probably just a little off, you know? That's not the issue here. Hmm?
解決方法を教えて
I
ほし
wasn't
かった
asking you to solve my
わけじゃない
problems for me.
あのね
Look, I just wanted to vent, okay? I just wanted you to listen. What do you mean? That's what I've been doing. No, not like that. I don't get it. Are you angry about something? Guys always do this. It varies from person to person, of course, but guys invariably jump right into looking for solutions to the problem or giving you advice on what to do. As a result, girls often can't be totally honest with them, or don't want to be at any rate, and are forced to just bottle up their feelings. I only wanted Tsukasa to share in some of my fears. If he were scared with me, that would have been enough. I didn't realize then that Tsukasa was telling me not to worry. Was his way of showing concern. I just thought he was brushing me off, and frankly that annoyed me. My mind flashed back over and over again to the face and the eyes and the hoarse voice of that old woman. Amplified and distorted by the ghost story, these images gradually darkened my mood. Maybe I was traumatized by the events I'd experienced, or maybe I was just frustrated and needed to lash out. I don't know. Here we go again with brushing everyone off stuff. But for the first time ever, things had become decidedly uncomfortable between the two of us. Okay, well, this is me. Right. Shishido. He called out my name as I briskly walked away. I didn't really know why I was so angry and confused, but I did notice that his voice was tinged with concern. If anything should happen, feel free to contact me. I considered turning back for a second, but changed my mind and pushed forward in a huff, leaving him behind. I'm home. Yui, welcome back. Meeting me at the door, my mother wore a somber expression. I could tell right away that something bad had happened. I stared at her scrunched eyebrows for an awkwardly long time before she eventually, reluctantly opened her mouth to speak. About that old woman from this morning, yeah? The hospital contacted me. She passed away a short while ago. No! I'm sorry. You need to stay focused on tomorrow's exam right now, though. Yeah. We should put this unpleasantness behind us. I'm getting dinner started now, so how about you go get changed? Okay, I'll be in my room. I'll call you. I watched my mom work her way to the back of the kitchen, then wriggled out of my shoes. My mood had darkened even more. Tsukasa's attitude was bad enough, but for that old woman to have died? Returning to my room, I couldn't muster the energy to do anything but collapse into my chair and sprawl out on my desk. You must not go. The last thing the old woman had said to me echoed again and again in my mind. I began wishing I'd taken her more seriously. I should have accepted the paper doll and thanked her. I should have reassured her I wouldn't go to Heavenly Host Elementary. I mean, the place didn't even exist anymore, for goodness sakes. I was exhausted. It was a hell of a day, and I no longer had even enough energy to move. I needed to change out of my school clothes, but still sprawled out over the desk, my eyelids drooped and closed. I was out. I awoke with a start. The air in my room had gotten notably cooler, and I was shivering. I must have fallen asleep. Rubbing my eyes, I glanced at the clock. The needless indicated it was 6:45. It's already this late? It was black outside my window. Streaked with lines from the still pouring rain. Sure hope it's sunny tomorrow. Sunny for my exam. The weight of what the next day held for me came rushing into my mind. I practiced the interview process with my teachers quite thoroughly, but I was still really nervous. Okay, I need to make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. There was still a little time before dinner. My mind swimming, I decided I'd take this opportunity to clean out all the notes and textbooks I wouldn't need tomorrow from my bag. Let's see, student ID needs to stay, obviously, a handkerchief and tissues. Gotta make sure I don't forget my exam ticket. Oh, and my pen case. Huh? Crap, where's my pen case? Did I leave it at school? My face suddenly went pale. Really, I shouldn't have been too concerned over writing implements. We had tons at home. But that case held the special pencil that Tsukasa had given me for guaranteed success on my exam. I have to go to get it. Hey Mom, I forgot something at school, so I'm going to run back for a sec.
もうす
What?
ぐ
But
5時
dinner's
でも
almost
ない
ready.
から
That's okay, I'll come right home. Alright, it's still raining though, so be careful. I will.
あの鉛筆は
That pencil was one thing I absolutely needed to bring with me to the test, and so without hesitation I ran back down the road to school. I was sprinting as close to full speed as I could get without slipping in the downpour. All the while, the numbers on my bedroom clock ran through my mind, 6:45, and if Kana's story was to be believed, Yoshi haunted the school building at 7.
夜の7時校門前に着いて
As soon as I arrived at the gate, I glanced up at the large clock adorning the schoolhouse. It was now 6:55.
6時
Imagine risking it all over a pencil case, bruh. Yeah, hell no.
放課後の吉江さんの
Yoshi
階
after
段
school, I
話
went over the whole scenario in my head again as best as I could recall it. After classes on a rainy day in October, 7 at night,
おばあちゃん
did that old woman somehow know this would happen?
だなもう
Get a hold of yourself, Yui. It's just some old campfire tale. I was talking to myself, reprimanding myself in an effort to quell the fear that was welling up in the pit of my stomach. There wasn't a soul to be seen on the grounds by this time. The students had all gone home. I wondered if any teachers were even still around. Fortunately, the lights were all still on. It was bright enough, I felt confident I could make it to the classroom without freaking out. Okay, I'll just run up, grab the case, and come right back down. I folded up my soaked umbrella and left it in the rack by the entrance, and then changed into my indoor shoes. Then, entering the brightly lit hall, I took another look around. Guess I was right, nobody's home. My deep sigh echoed through the deathly silent corridor. Ordinarily, the din of other students would drown out noises like this, but every little sound was coming through crystal clear at this late hour.
急がなくちゃ
I need to hurry, it's almost 7. I nervously sauntered toward the classroom 3-4, picking up speed as it occurred to me to do so.
今朝のおばあさんね
About that old woman from this morning, she passed away a short while
だって
ago.
その天神小学校
It's said that one day after school, a female teacher who had been patrolling the grounds slipped and fell down the stairs and died.
その日は10月の
The accident took place on a rainy October day, just like this one, and occurred just after 7 at night. And supposedly Yoshi still appears on days like this. Ever unaware that she died at Heavenly Host these many years ago, she now walks the halls of Kisarigai Academy, believing them to be her own. Jeez, what the hell is wrong with me?
考えてるのよ私
Why am I letting this bother me so
不
much?
思議なんだ
Tsukasa was right, I shouldn't dwell on this. Lightning flashed and thunder resounded with an impeccable timing. I jumped in spite of myself. I just need to hurry up these stairs, grab the pen case, and get the hell out of this creepy building. No ghost should show up in a well-lit building like this, right? And even if they did, they wouldn't be very scary under all these bright lights. I absolutely need that pencil for tomorrow's test. It's a good luck charm, after all, and it's from Tsukasa. I picked up the pace as I continued to straight for room 3-4.
中等部の方はも
The
う
middle school is already pitch black.
やっぱ
I
り
guess there really is no one else around right now.
それにしても今日はいつもよりこの廊下が長い感じがするただでさえこの廊下で
This
遅
hallway
刻し
feels
そうになるくらいなの
longer than it has before. Was it always like this? Can't imagine it ever be on time if it were. I continued my brisk walk down the impossibly long hallway toward my goal, jumping every now and again whenever another thunderclap sounded. Kisarigai Academy was comprised of both a middle school and a high school, and this evening it really felt like it was flaunting its massive size. Didn't help that my classroom was in the high school wing, which happened to be past the middle school, making it seem that much farther away. When a building that's usually so full of life goes completely quiet, it becomes such a lonely place. I swear I can hear every drop of rain. I was focusing on the scant few sounds around me as I paced down the long, lonely corridor. Then all of a sudden, I heard a faint noise of someone playing an organ. That was just my imagination, right? I mean, it had to be. There's no way anyone would still be here practicing, right? I took a deep breath, trying to calm my nerves. It was probably the sounds of the rain, wind, and thunder mixing together. It just sounded like an organ, that's all. I was convinced. I kept walking. But then, I heard the same noise again, this time much more clearly. It was unmistakable. No way. I was paralyzed with fear. My heart was pounding as if it were struggling to break free of someone's sinister grip. It's probably just some devoted member of the band or a teacher who's working late. I'm just being stupid. Thinking about it, I vaguely recalled someone mentioning the upcoming performance by the Wind Instrument Club. I guess an organ would qualify. Somebody must have stayed late to practice, that's all. I need to hurry up, then run. I can't get that damn ghost story out of my head. I took another deep breath and tried again to calm my overly jittery nerves. Anything can be scary if you think it is. I'd heard that if you let your imagination run too wild, fear can even make you see things that aren't there. And my imagination was most definitely running wild. I'm almost there. I might as well sprint the rest of the way. I decided to dash through the classroom so I could get out of this hall as quickly as possible. Finally reaching the familiar door, I swiftly opened it and flickered on the lights. Alright, I made it. Now I just have to be absolutely certain I don't leave here without that pen case again. Thanks to all the unexpected pauses to freak out over thunder and lightning, it took me far longer than it should have to get here. It was already well past 7. 7 o'clock, huh? It was the appointed time when the ghost of the teacher was supposed to appear, at least according to the school legend. No undead educators here. I let out a sigh of relief and relaxed my shoulders a bit. The lights were on both sides of the classroom out in the hallway. Sure, it was still dead silent, but the fear I'd been feeling had completely melted away. Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. The 7 wonders aren't real. I grabbed the pen case I'd come back for and shoved it into my pocket. Okay, mission accomplished. With my long ordeal behind me, more or less, I looked around the classroom and let out another sigh. I'd only ever known this classroom when it was bustling with activity, and thus found the eerie silence and utter stillness to be oddly satisfying, or fascinating. Such a strange feeling being alone in a classroom like this. I got the idea in my head to try doing something I normally wouldn't be able to, like standing at the teacher's desk podium or writing on the blackboard. Chances like this don't come around too often after all. To me, the area behind the podium from which teachers conduct their lessons was like a sacred space. I dreamed of standing there myself one day and could hardly resist its pull when presented with a rare opportunity like this. Well, no one's looking. To my classmates, this would have seemed such a silly, stupid dilemma, but that didn't change the way I felt at that moment. Should I or shouldn't I? First save of this fucking chapter, damn. Do I need save files of past chapters? I don't know. I'm gonna try not to mix them. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm gonna leave a space between them. No. That was long as fuck, though. Yeah. Okay. Saving at 30. How can I pass this up? It's a shame to feel like a real teacher. I decided I had to try it. During the daily cleanup and such, I'd come and gone from this spot countless times, but this was the first time I had ever gotten the opportunity to stand here and preside over the classroom. Besides, this is how it looks to be a teacher, huh? It's kind of awe-inspiring. Getting a teacher's point of view in the most literal sense was starting to get me really fired up. It may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This was where all my dreams would play out. Someday. I began to imagine the future that awaited me, painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at their desks. Gliding chalk across the board, filling it with new information to aid them in their studies. I sure hope I can make the cut one of these days. As I was getting so excited that even I began to think my behavior was a little strange. Classrooms strange when empty. Exactly. Maybe it was just a juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions, and the prickling dread I'd been feeling up until at least a minute or two ago. Before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of these two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. Huh? Crap, is this a blackout? Suddenly, my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff with shock, I stumbled back a step. My back struck the blackboard with a dull thud. What awful timing. I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, it picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. And what's more, I can still hear the sound of the organ, but no. It's an electric organ. How is that even possible with no power? You must not go. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic. As far as I was aware, how could she have possibly known this would happen? Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or a psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head. Need to calm down. Maybe it's just this wing that lost power. The music room is still okay. That seems plausible, right? I curled my chalk-dusted fingers into a fist and suddenly tried to talk some sense into myself. I've got to get out of here. I shouldn't have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself a little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. I spent so much time in here, you'd think I'd be able to find my way out of it with my eyes closed, as it were. But sadly, that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk, I knocked it on the side and began tumbling after it, instinctively grabbing at the desks around me for support. Oof. Damn, it sounds like I knocked a lot of stuff out of that desk. Guess I'll need to put everything back. Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing utensils. I can't tell what's what. This is so embarrassing. What the heck am I doing anyway? Wasn't I supposed to be hurrying home? I'm such a klutz. I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately. Okay, this is a textbook and this is a notebook, right? I was trying to take inventory of all the things I'd knocked out of the desk, then realized why. I might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back in. I couldn't possibly organize it properly in absolute darkness. Better just to apologize tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. Explaining what I'd done wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it would serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. If I didn't say anything, it's not like I'd be found out. But that would be the same as lying. As far as I'm concerned, I couldn't do that. Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and swept it around, feeling for anything I might have missed. I found something, alright. Oh, gross, what's this? It's all slimy. I clearly brushed my fingers across something, but I had no idea what. It was no notebook or writing implement, though that's for sure. Why would anybody have something like this in their desk? Maybe it had been on the floor all along. What is this stuff? I rubbed my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot, then brought my hand up close to my face so I could get a better look at what was there. What on earth did I just touch? There was a flash of lightning, almost immediately joined by a roaring thunderclap, and with it for a split second, the pitch-black classroom was lit up bright as day. God, is that blood? I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In the split second, I'd gotten a very good look at my fingers, and it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand, no. My peripheral vision were to be trusted. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained a deep dark crimson. Crap, it kind of smells like blood in here too. Without thinking, I backed away from where I'd been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured? This isn't possible. It can't be. I mean, how? My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, I tried to flee. What? Why won't it open? No, please, no. I don't remember locking it, and it isn't locked. So why can't it open? I pulled on the door handle again and again in a frenzy. I was pulling so hard it felt like my fingernails might tear loose. But it just wouldn't budge. Why? Why, please? I absent-mindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand and slammed my fist at a nearby desk with the other. This was a nightmare. Please, no, what is going on? Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart. Calm down, I have to calm down. I'm probably just panicking because the door won't open. I'm sure I just misidentified whatever that was on the floor. I mean, it's preposterous, right? There's no way something like that could be. I was certain that when I saw what was actually, what it actually was come morning, I'd end up being something totally random. Like someone's old soda-stained gym clothes. That was to be it. Yeah, I probably just brushed against somebody's paint for art class or something. My imagination was just running wild because I was panicking. And the door probably just has something caught in it, that's all. I decided to check out that hypothesis by feeling my way across the door, and determining if anything jutting out from any of the cracks. Damn, not sure I can do this without being able to see. I fumbled around the gaps in the door. But I just couldn't make anything out of what would be doing this. And the classroom's rear exit seemed a world away. Maybe there's another way out of here. No, this was the 3rd floor. I couldn't get out of this classroom without exiting into the hallway. Let me out, I want out. Still at a loss, I noticed a sudden flash of light through the hallway window. But then glass was only translucent, so I couldn't be sure of its source. Is somebody out there? Then there came the distinctive clomp, clomp, clomp of footsteps. Oh, of course. It must be the custodian. I recalled the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I was sure he must be taking a look around after the sudden power outage. Great, I'm saved. All at once, my fear-abled legs regained their strength. This nightmare would be soon over. Excuse me. I shouted to the custodian through the window, as I loudly could muster. Excuse me, I'm trapped in here. And to be sure he heard me, I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out of the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However, something's not right about this. Perturbed, I took a step away from the window. If that's a flashlight, shouldn't it be brighter? It kind of looks like the faint, unearthly glow, classically attributed to spirits. Was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought, however. Dullness aside, it also looked like it was wriggling around in a very unnatural, very unflashlight-like way. And these footsteps, clomp, 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 4 clomps, then a 3 or so second interval, then another 4 clomps. They were sounding like a fixed rhythm. That's no custodian. Nobody walks like that. The fear was back in full force. I had to find somewhere to hide. What if I'd accidentally summoned something inhuman? I mean, whatever that was, I begged for it to help. I literally invited it in. Need to hide, but where? I hurriedly squeezed myself into the metal locker where the classroom's cleaning supplies were kept. It was still pitch black in the room, so I really couldn't spare the time it would take to remove its contents. Instead, I just contorted myself to fit. The locker was thick with smells of mold and varnish. I can hold my breath for just a little while. I think I'll be safe in here. So I waited. I waited for the footsteps to pass by and fade into the distance, signaling that it was safe to emerge. Whoever it is, had better hurry. I feel like I'm going to suffocate in here, if I'm in here much longer. Still, it felt a lot safer in the dark locker than it be out in the room. But the footsteps weren't receding, they were just getting louder, closer, faster. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. Please, why did your paws scare me? Oh, hey, Maya, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, sorry, I'm drinking water, so, you know, if I make bodily noises, I've just been muting my mic because, you know, I don't need to burp in any of your ears. But welcome in. How are you doing today, Maya? It's good to see you. And then they came to a sudden halt. Huh? They were close, just outside the locker. I peered through the ventilation holes. Amidst the utter darkness of the classroom, there wasn't a soul to be seen.
大丈夫。ここにいれば
I'm okay, as long as I
大丈夫。
stay in here, I'll be fine. I'm not sure why I believed that. Maybe because I needed to. Maybe because it was so dark, or because I felt so much calmer in such a tight space, where nothing could possibly sneak up behind me. I didn't know why, and I didn't care. I just knew that, as far as I was concerned, I was safe in here, so I stood motionless and cramped, and I waited. I didn't have to wait long.
なんか
What was that? It sounded like a door locking.
鍵がかかっ
Suddenly apprehensive, I gently nudged the supply closet door, just to make sure it would still open for me when I wanted it to. No, it's locked. Found you. I let out a sudden yelp at this unknown voice, and tried with all my might to push open the door, blocking my escape. No, please, let me out, let me out.
まだ残ってる。
Is somebody still here?
残りしてた罰
You'll need to be punished for that. Huh? You're good. I've actually been lurking. Oh, okay. Well, if you decide to keep lurking, or if you decide to talk, whatever it is you want to do, that's your life, and I hope you enjoy it. But, thank you for sticking around. It's cool to have you here. There was a brief moment of silence following the eerie voice's unsettling proclamation. And then, crash, crunch, the metal walls around me on all four sides began warping inward, as if the supply closet had somehow been fed into a trash compactor. What's going on? There was no force I could imagine that should have been able to do this, but it was happening. This already confined space was steadily closing in on me. It hurts. Open the door. Let me out. Crash, crunch. The collapse of the locker all around me continued, slowly and steadily. I could feel all manner of things pushing and cutting into my body. My vision went bright red. One of the blood vessels in my eyes probably burst from the pressure. I wasn't going to last much longer. The ventilation holes in the locker door were now pressed right up against my face, and through them I could just barely make out the figure of a person. It was the old woman from this morning. She was standing just outside the slats, staring right into my eyes. It was the last sight I would ever see as the locker finally inevitably smashed into my skull. Crash, crunch, crack, splat. Wrong end. Wrong end too. Damn. Well, let's go back in. I'm sure if I went to the teacher's podium, I would have gotten wrong end 1. As I said, I'm not a full completionist, like in my past games, so obviously I'm not going to get every ending. I've gone into this blind, so, if I get an ending, I get an ending. Cool. So let's go back to this and just get the fuck out of here. Should I or shouldn't I? Leave the fucking room.
ダメダメ。ここは遊んでない。
Okay, I really don't have time to play around right now. I should get out of here. I decided it would be best to put my yearnings aside and leave the classroom behind. Well, that particular wonder turned out to be nothing at all. It seems. Guess it's all just superstition. I couldn't believe I'd gotten all indignant with Tsukasa over something so trivial. Horrifying. Thinking about it now, it seemed kind of ridiculous. Alright, time to head home. I have to get to bed early, so I'll be ready for tomorrow. With this in mind, I walked toward the classroom door and took one step out into the hall. When suddenly... Huh? The door slid shut on its own incredible force, and my neck was trapped in a narrow opening that remained. Are you kidding me? I dug my nails into the door, frantically trying to open it back up. But the more I pushed on it, the more it pushed back, further constricting my neck. I was flailing my limbs, twisting and contorting my body, trying everything I could to escape. Why? My neck was clamped tightly. I could feel the blood rushing to my head. I couldn't breathe. Opening my mouth in terror, I stuck my tongue out as if trying to swallow the air. Forcefully shaking my head left and right, I swiveled my body to face the ceiling. That's when I saw the tall, pitch-black silhouette of a person. A silent scream squirmed its way out of my throat, but the door was still pressing onto my neck. I can't... Tsukasa. My vision whirled and I felt a sensation of falling. At the same time, a lukewarm liquid began pouring over my face. What? As I was struggling to make sense of what was happening to me, the door that had been violently crushing my neck quietly slid open. The floor of the schoolhouse came down hard on my head. My vision had gone white and began blurring, but I could still see. I can see my body. I was rolling across the hallway, and there, in the doorframe, I caught the sight of my headless torso collapsing in the heap on the floor. What just happened? The last thing I saw out of the corner of my bloodshot, unfocusing eye was the familiar figure of the old woman from this morning. Are you fucking kidding me? So I guess the right decision is to hide behind the teacher's desk. Or podium, or whatever it is. Wrong end one. Damn. Okay, teacher's podium. I hurriedly hid myself behind the teacher's podium. I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could. What is this? What's happening? The footsteps continued to draw nearer and nearer. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair on my body was standing on end. Please just pass by, please. I held my breath, clasped my hands together, and silently prayed. Clomp, clomp, clomp. They were close now, very, very close. Just the music. I know, it's unsettling. All horror games do this. Even if the game is not particularly scary, like, nothing scary could, like, ever happen in the game, even if it is a horror game, but just the sounds alone, it just fucks your mind up. Please, God. Why was this happening? I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God that it would end. Murder and then dun dun dun. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take the paper doll from her? Was it because I heard the ghost story of Yoshi and allowed it to get to me? Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now? I feel like my heart is going to burst out of my chest. I was still holding my breath. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds escape and give away my position. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. Interesting. The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended halfway into one of its cycles. And it had ended right in front of this very classroom. I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshi? Was the school legend real? All I could do was close my eyes, keep my mouth shut, and hope that whatever or whoever this was would just go away. But the footsteps sounds didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshi, then she'd stepped in front of the classroom and was just standing there. He's just standing there, menacingly. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes, but felt like at least an hour. Maybe whoever it was is gone. I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head out, just far enough to get a glimpse of the room, when suddenly... The footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me. And they might have been inside the room. I honestly couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spot and covered my mouth with both hands. This was too much for me. My breathing was coarse and erratic, and my face was a mess of tears and snot. God, please save me. I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles just to scare me. Stop it, please, stop it. I mouthed these words over and over again and moved my hands to my ears in a vain attempt to block out this torturous sound. And as as if, in response, the sound changed. It was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence, no more footsteps. I'd heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the classroom door sliding open. I peeked out, but the door was still tightly shut. How could that be? If the sound I heard wasn't the door, then what was it? What little safety I'd felt here was pretty much gone. But to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if I was better to stay in here, stay where I was, or to make a break for it. Sorry, y'all, I still cannot read. I graduated high school, don't know how to read. Let's do the stupid decision. I just woke up. Oh, whoa. Hey, yo. Hey, White Knight, welcome in. Let's do the stupid decision. This might be a bad end, but, you know, make a break for it. Staying in one place for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble, so I took a deep breath and reluctantly scrawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately, I felt something. Something long and thin had struck me in the back of the head. Or perhaps struck isn't the right word. There was a little force behind it, but it wasn't a hard slam, more like someone trying to get my attention. Is that a wooden rod? No, it's a finger. I knew it wouldn't, I wouldn't like what I was going to see, but I had to face whatever this was, so I turned around. And there, looming over me was, somebody still here? Go home, child. A figure was peering down at me from above the podium, with one, emaciated, wishbone-like finger extended toward my face. Running just makes you more tempting to hunt down, like running prey, being hunted like in a game. Like a game. Yeah. I just want to see if this is a stupid decision or not. I recognized this person instantly, no doubt about it. This was the strange old woman who'd supposedly passed away earlier. I was so scared out of my mind, I tumbled the rest of the way out from under the podium, shot to my feet. A ghost. There really was a ghost in the school. My breathing was ragged and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Plowing through all the desks to my right, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could go. What's wrong? There, on the other side of the door, tied up against the glass, was the old woman. She was glowing bluish white, the source of the light from earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door quickly before I did? How did she get out of the room so quickly and position herself so perfectly to block my exit? I felt like I was starting to hyperventilate and tried as best as I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted about the room. I needed to get out of here. Oh, we clicked it too fast. I needed to get out of here to get as far as away from this place as I possibly could. If the front door is blocked, maybe I could get out from the back. But if I do that, I can't leave the school without running right past her. There's no way she'd let me by. But I have to do something. I bit my lip and continued scanning the room. Something, but I just had something I could use to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. There were two choices and I had to pick one on impulse before it was too late. I should have picked Salt. So she blew. She might be a Smurf. Reaction time. I saved. I could pick Salt next time, because Salt against a spirit makes a lot more sense than a fucking broom. A broom from the cleaning supply locker, that might work. Maybe I could fend her off with it. It was a long enough shot, but it was better than just standing around and getting caught. What do I do now? What do I do? When I looked over, the spirit of an old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid. She was going to kill me, turn me into a ghost like her. At work, just dropping in the same moon smells. Okay, bye. Have fun at work. No you. I was convinced this had to be Yoshi, the teacher from the urban legend. I couldn't waste any more time. I darted out through the back door of the classroom into the safe end of the hall. I was running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be fruitless. A fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speeds to intercept. Stop! I impulsively thrust the broom out and stabbed her in the eye with it. Take that, I thought. But the moment of bravado was short-lived. The broom immediately shattered into a million pieces, as if my attack accomplished anything. It just made her mad. You bugger, don't you know the power of salt? Have you not learned from Mob 100? Yeah. I had the sudden sensation of someone seizing me by the throat, accompanied by the unpleasant crunching sound. God, she really did have me by the throat. I couldn't breathe. For as old and frail as she looked, she was uncommonly strong. Gotcha. No. She was actually gripping me so tightly that she'd managed to raise me off the ground by my neck. I could see her slender, bony hand in the periphery of my vision, and feel it cutting into my trachea. Was that hand really holding me in the air against my will, kicking and flailing by just the tissue and bones of my neck? I couldn't struggle anymore. I was like a puppet on a string. Tag, you're it. Motherfucker. With a sudden shock, my field of vision shifted 90 degrees and everything turned blood red. Oh my, just like me. Got 3 bad ends. Got bad end 1, 2, and which one is this? Bad end 4. Damn, I skipped over bad end 3. Let's try the salt this time. Do bad end 3. No, I as I said, I've gone into this blind. If I accidentally do get bad end 3, then so be it. But I'm not actively looking to do all the endings. I just want to get the true endings of each chapter and, you know, get on with the game. Bag of salt. This looks like leftover salt from an old chemistry experiment. I heard that salt was used in purification rituals, so it seemed to be like a natural choice. Fine. Okay, this is coming with me. I place the salt in my pocket as a sort of protective charm. I'm scared, but well, here goes nothing. When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. I was being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced this had to be Yoshi, the teacher from the urban legend. No, I won't let her get me. Bracing myself, I darted toward the door at the back of the classroom. There wasn't a moment to lose. If I didn't act fast, I probably wouldn't be able to act at all. I threw the door open and just began running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Says the same thing. Stop. Don't come any closer. I thrusted my hand into my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt, then threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. Every undead are allergic to salt. That's why you make your friends salty by winning. She recoiled. Now's my chance. I ran down the hall as fast as my legs would carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulder after a moment to confirm that the spirit was still writhing. I just kept on running down the dark hallway with nothing but adrenaline and mortal fear to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall and made a mad dash toward ground level. I was determined to get out of this building alive. Stop! Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the window door leading outside. Almost there, I'm almost out. Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this. This would be a quick thinker. I like her. I made it. I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it. Huh? No, no, it's not opening. Why? Why? I'm so close. Please, please, open, I'm begging you.
どうしよう。このま
I
まじ
have
ゃ
to think of something else. At this rate, the horrible woman's going to... No, I can't let that happen. But what do I do? What can I do? Putting my thoughts in order, I came to the sudden realization that I was right near the umbrella racks. Unless the spirit had taken it or something, my umbrella should still be right where I left it. Here it is. I practically tackled the rack, grabbing my umbrella in one swift motion, not from the handle, mind you, but from the top. Then, taking aim at the glass part of the door, I swung as hard as I could, smacking it dead center with a sturdy plastic handle. The glass wasn't going to break so easily, of course, but it did crack, giving me the impetus I needed to go in for a second hit. Break it, damn you, break! Again and again, I struck the glass. I had the umbrella gripped so tightly, the metal skeleton of the canopy was leaving indentations in my skin. I was sure that there had to be a better way to do this, but I didn't have the luxury of time to figure out what it might have been. Stop, you must not leave! She's coming this way. I began smacking the glass even harder, even faster. My hands were killing me, but this was my only way of survival. Finally, after far too much effort. Yes, I did it. The glass shattered onto the floor, making one hell of a sound. Tepid air whooshed in from outside. It was still pouring rain, but I was free now, free to escape this hellhole. Okay. The pane I broken was on the lower half of the door, and I didn't care if I cut myself. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled like mad. I did it. I'm almost outside. I can actually escape. I'm safe. I felt triumphant for a brief moment. The fear was gone, and I was basking in my victory over this malevolent entity. Huh? But it didn't last long. Before I was even halfway to the door, I felt something coiling itself around my arm. With a start, I looked back. You must not go outside. A tall, shadowy figure had appeared behind me in the entranceway. She had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see that she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? Her scraggly, root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. No, who? What are you? You forgot to save. It's fine. Where are you going, my dear? I'll just be a little longer, so won't you please wait for me? That hurts, that really hurts. I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I absolutely convinced that I was going to die. Let go of me. Sachi. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please. You're really going to hurt me. I felt like my arm would snap in two at any moment. Let's be together forever. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. My mind was absorbed by the unconscionable agony. Shishido! I thought my arm was going to snap off, and then all of a sudden I was whisked away. Whisked away by Tsukasa. Are you okay? Why, Tsukasa? No time to explain. We have to run. What? Tsukasa was still holding onto me tightly after saving me from the brink of death. He had led me back to the school, back into the school at an incredible speed. Damn it, what the hell was that thing? Please tell me I'm just dreaming. He practically spit these words as he continued running. Why is Tsukasa here? I tried to match his gait at once. We were a bit more in sync. I looked up at his face. Nani, friendship, fucking impossible. After all, we reached the end of the hall. After we reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered into the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him. Shishido, you okay? I'm fine, I can walk by
Oh,
myself,
worry.
really. Oh, sorry, my bad. I moved away from Tsukasa and almost immediately sprawled to the ground like a house of cards.
おい大丈夫じゃ
Oh,
ない
you,
じゃん
you don't seem okay to me. Maybe not, I just need a few...
無理すんなよ
Hey, don't push yourself. Tsukasa grabbed my arm to help me up. Unfortunately, it was the arm Yoshi had been twisting.
と悪い
Oh, sorry.
やっぱり腕
Is it your arm that's hurting you then? Yeah, I don't know how bad it is, but it really stings like it's on fire. I dragged my other hand over the sore spot where I assumed there was probably one hell of a bruise. I started rubbing gently, but it didn't help at all.
そうかじゃあ保健室ですぐに手当てした方がいいな
That's not good. We should take you to the nurse's office right away and take care of that.
でもそしたらま
But
た
then we'll
あい
be
つが来るって
exposing ourselves to the ghost again? Right. Yeah. Just thinking about going back out there and facing Yoshi made me shudder. I couldn't believe he was even entertaining the idea.
心配すんな
Don't worry, even if she does come get us, I'll keep you safe no matter what, okay?
俺が絶対お前を
She really is built different than Mayu. She got friendship. True.
そくん
Tsukasa. Tsukasa's gentle reassurance actually made me forget the pain in my arm for a moment. I had to stop myself from blushing, or try to at any rate.
怪我は一刻も早
You
く
need to treat your
手当てした
injuries as
方がい
quickly
い
as
って
possible, or they could get worse.
ま
The
あ
nurse may
どう
not
せ
be
先生
in,
なんかいないだろ
but I can at least apply first aid. Okay.
よし
Alright then, let's go.
さ
Tsukasa offered me his hand, and I graciously took it, squeezing it gently as he led me back out into the hallway.
つかさ
Tsukasa's hand is so warm. Despite the fact that nothing had really changed, it was still just as much danger as I had been in. The paralyzing fear I'd been feeling was gone. If it were just me, I would never have been able to do this. I would have frozen up, but with Tsukasa leading the way, I felt like I could do anything.
シシド
Shishido, you okay to run? Sure. With my blessing, Tsukasa upped his pace significantly.
あいつが出てきません
Please don't
よ
let her show up. I prayed silently for smooth sailing as I followed Tsukasa's lead.
このまま
As long as he's with me, I think I'll be okay.
安心
I gently squeezed his hand again, as if to reassure myself that he was still with me. I was starting to think maybe Yoshi was gone, maybe we thwarted her, but of course, just as I was thinking that, she made her presence known again. What the hell was that? Show yourself! An unearthly voice reverberated through the dark corridor. I immediately drew myself into Tsukasa's back. Bring me more. Over Tsukasa's shoulder, I saw the same shadow-like spirit from before. It must have been waiting here to ambush us.
大丈夫落ち着け
It's alright, stay calm. But the ghost was moaning and wavering before us. We'd never be able to get past it. You'll do anything for me.
おいシシド
Hey, Shishido. Yeah?
俺があいつを引きつけるから
I'm going to draw that thing's attention. While it's distracted, I want you to run. What? No way, we'll run together.
俺には秘密
I've got a secret weapon. You
俺
what?
のばあさんからもらった
It's a keepsake charm my grandmother gave me. When I pointed
さっきあいつにこ
it
れを見
at
てから
that thing earlier,
少
it
し
definitely had an effect. A charm? Yeah,
でも
but Tsukasa, you'll still be putting yourself right in harm's way.
俺
Yeah, I'll be fine.
まあ
Oh, I'll work somehow or another. That's not...
待ちなさい
Stay where you are. We really didn't have time to be arguing. It was closing in fast. And as it did, I noticed the spirit's figure had become more defined. She was a tall young woman with her head turned sideways at a 90-degree angle. The tale of Yoshi suggests that she fell down a flight of stairs, so a broken neck would certainly
早
fit.
く走れ
Go, run! It gave my back a shove to get me started, and with no time, I unconsciously obliged. Tsukasa is a Chad character name. There's like 70% of a whole anime collection that there's a guy or girl named Tsukasa. Tsukasa, yeah. Tsukasa ran too, darting ahead of me for a few more, short moments.
おい化け物
Hey, ghost lady, over here! Stop! Tsukasa! Tsukasa ran as close as he possibly could to get Yoshi's attention, then turned tail and began sprinting off in the opposite direction.
こっちだぞ
Come, get me, you monster! Amazingly, it worked. The spirits began chasing Tsukasa, leaving me
どう
completely
しよう
unobstructed. This
この
doesn't feel
まま
right.
一人逃げても
Should I
いい
really
の
escape without him? I was torn. On one hand, I knew this was my best chance, but I couldn't help worrying about what happened to Tsukasa if his charm failed. I stopped for a moment and glanced over my shoulder. He was still running, and the shadowy figure was still in hot pursuit. Tsukasa, she's way too close. You need to take out your charm.
いいから行けって
It's fine, I told you to keep
お前
going.
が逃げ
Once
切っ
you're
た
out
の
of
を確
harm's
認
way,
した
I'll
ら
be right behind you,
俺
I
も逃げる
promise.
からさ
I still can't believe I fell for it. But this was right about when I realized the truth. Tsukasa had no protective charm. He just made that up so I wouldn't object too strongly to him serving as a decoy while I got away.
やっぱりダメ
No, I can't let him go through with this. I stopped in my tracks and shouted at the top of my lungs. Yoshi, hold it right there! I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I had to do something, and calling the spirit's name was definitely seemed to have an
あなた
effect.
の名前
That's right, I know your name.
シシド
Shishido, what are you doing? All at once, the black figure was facing me, though I never saw her turn around. She was flying toward me now, ignoring Tsukasa. I'm not scared, 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 I'm not scared. How to rizz up ghost girls, just use charm. I repeated this like a mantra and stuck one hand into my pocket, grasping tightly onto the only item I'd stashed there.
お前は私
So you know who I am then.
私には
Unlike him, I have a real protective charm. Tsukasa's care, his effort, his beliefs, they're all packed into this pencil. And when you get right down to it, that's what a charm is, right? I squeezed the nubby little thing in my pocket, mentally preparing myself for the confrontation ahead, the confrontation I'd impulsively initiated. Shishido, you have to run.
私
I
は
won't, I absolutely will not. God, please protect me. I closed my eyes, lifted my hand from my pocket, and brandished Tsukasa's pencil intently. The gun that had been thrown, I was putting a lot of faith into this, and I really hoped I hadn't made a mistake in doing so.
私はシシドユイ
My name is Yui Shishido, and my goal is to become a teacher here at this school. I opened my eyes to find that the shadowy spirit Yoshi had stopped dead in her tracks. Did it work? Was Tsukasa's pencil keeping this vengeful soul at bay? I don't need a replacement. Just die! Suddenly, I was whisked off my feet and slammed against the ceiling.
シシド
Shishido! I could see him down below. He was staring up at me and desperately leaping. He was trying to catch me. I suppose even though he never even had the chance. Tsukasa! I called out to him over and over again in my mind. If he could get away, he could survive this ordeal. Then it would all have been worth it. Yoshi was drawing near. I was helplessly pinned to the ceiling. I had no chance at all. There was no doubt in my mind that my life was over. She's pulling BS anime plot. This might be the most OP pro tag. Never mind. I clung to the relief I felt at Tatsuka's safety. It was the only thing keeping me from losing my mind entirely. Then all at once, the situation took a complete 180. It was like a miracle.
篠崎よし
Yoshi Shinozaki, stop right there.
ここまでにせい
Before I had any idea what was happening, I found myself bathed in a gentle light.
おばあ
The woman from this morning? I'm sorry I was unable to protect you, but now at least the evil was spread no farther. It was the old woman who had collapsed in front of my house. She was standing down below me, enveloped in a warm glow. The black shadow lunged towards her. Then there was a horrific noise and the old woman was gone.
シシド
Shishido. And just like that, I fell to the ground. They really had us in the first half with music playing from Yui Pencil speech. True. Whatever Yoshi had done to me, the old woman must have nullified it. That must have been why she came to me this morning, and why she had come again now. I felt like I was going to faint. Satsukasa ran to my side, gently scooped me off the ground into his arms. Yoshi's spirit was gone. She'd vanished along with the light around us now. And the only sound was the pitter-patter of raindrops on the school roof.
おいシシド
Hey, Shishido. Tsukasa.
つかさ
I suffered quite a bump on the head from the fall and was decidedly disoriented, but I still had enough sense to put my arms around Tsukasa's neck. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher the name every second. Oh?
バカ
You idiot, didn't I tell you to run away? Oh.
ごめん
I'm sorry, it's just...
でも
I wanted to protect you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you, is what I wanted to say. But instead I just passed out in his arms. I felt as though I was waking from a long, horrible dream.
おい大丈夫か
Hey, you okay?
おいシシド
Shishido? Where are we?
本当に大丈夫か
Man, how hard a fall was that? We're in the nurse's office, can't you tell? The nurse's office? It occurred to me to look at my surroundings, probably something I should have done before asking about them, but in my defense, I was out cold. Beige walls, pink curtains, white beds with solid blue covers. This was indeed the school's infirmary, no doubt about it.
どうして
Why are
どう
you...
してもこうしても
The better question is why you're here. I found you passed out on the ground out
ここ
there,
に連れてき
so
た
I carried you
あんな
in.
ところ
Out where exactly?
おいおいまだ具合
Jeez,
悪いん
did
じ
you
ゃ
get
な
a
いのか
concussion or something? It was right by the school gate. The school gate? That's where you found me?
そうだけど
Ring any bells?
私
But I was trapped inside the school and running from Yoshi, wasn't I? That's right, my arm. It's probably broken. Wait, my arm's okay?
は
Huh, your arm?
夢だ
Was it a dream? No, it couldn't have been. I mean, it really
そん
hurt.
なはずない
And I really thought I was going to die.
あまあなんか様子
Well, you're
が
still a
変
little
だ
out
け
of
ど
sorts, but I'm glad you're safe.
とに
At
か
any
くこういう
rate.
のって虫の知らせって言うんだな
Oh, rewind A. I guess you could say I had a gut feeling, maybe.
なんとなく気になって
I just
お
got
前に聞い
concerned
た
and
ら
and stopped by your house, and your mom told me you'd gone back to
学校
school.
に行ったって
So I came by to find you, and well, I found
さ
you.
くん
Tsukasa,
うん、
yes,
まあとりあえ
yes,
ず
there'll be time for
詳
things
し
and
い
such later
話
on.
は後で聞
Right
く
now,
か
there's
らさ
something I've got to do, so hang on
ちょ
a
っと
sec.
待ってな
あ
Okay.
翼くん
Where are you going, Tsukasa? I wanted to ask you about
あら
Yoshi.
シシドさん
Ah,
目が覚めた
Shishido,
の
glad
ね
to see you're
先
awake.
生
Ma'am,
驚いたわよ
you gave us both quite a scare. Mikuni was as pale as a ghost when he came to
私
get
が
me.
到直でよか
Lucky
っ
for
た
you,
わ
I
ね
was working late
ご迷
tonight.
惑をおかけしてすみません
I'm so sorry to have
それ
troubled
はいい
you.
のよでも
It's fine, of course, but you know, you were really moaning in your sleep. Were you having
悪
nightmares?
い
そう
Nightmares.
よ三國くんもす
Seemed
ごく
like you
心
were.
配してたわよ
Mikuni was worried sick about you.
そうだ
So it really was just a nightmare then.
きっと
Maybe that scary story this afternoon was just too much for
と
me.
もかくもう大丈夫
You're feeling a little better now, at least? Yeah.
さあよかっ
That's
た
good.
わ
The nurse smiled cheerfully and disappeared behind the partitioning curtain wall. I love how I read words that aren't there. Letting out a sigh, I laid myself down on the bed once more. It was dead silent. The rain must have let up. The only sound I heard was an occasional cough from the nurse, who was otherwise going about her business quietly.
そういえば
Oh wait, what about the pen case? I thrust my hands into my pockets, not really expecting to find it, but
ちゃんと
there it is. The pen case, complete with I literally cannot read. Tsukasa's pencil talisman inside was present and accounted for, which meant that
やっ
I
ぱ
made
り
it to my
やっぱ
classroom.
り
Maybe it wasn't a dream after all.
おーい
Hey,
あ司くん
Tsukasa, welcome back. I was still trying to remember exact details about what happened when I unexpectedly felt something cold press against my cheek.
これ
But what are you?
お前うなされてただ
You
ろ
were sleeping pretty
汗
restlessly,
も
you
かい
know,
てたし
and sweating an
喉
awful
乾い
lot.
たんじゃないかなと
So I
思って
figured
さ
you might be thirsty. Here, it's cafe au lait.
ありが
Oh,
とう
thank you. Tsukasa went out of his way to buy this just for me. It was a lovely gesture. How could I possibly refuse?
お前さ明日
Hey, isn't tomorrow? I guess it's today now, but either way, don't
推薦の試
you have
験
an entrance exam to
何時
take?
からだ
What time does it start? At 9.
あと4時間か
So in 4 hours then. God, I don't even want to think about that right
今
now.
日は
Not after the day I just had. I've been put through hell on earth. Taking the test was the furthest thing from my mind. I was in tears and I had no idea why. Maybe it was because I was so relieved, so glad to be alive. Okay, hey, Shishido, can you stand?
ちょうどいいからお前にいいも
The
の
timing's just right, so I'm going to show you something
い
good.
いもの
Something good? He is pulling his cock out. No,
おうそう
no,
だな
no, no.
お前には
Yeah, or rather, it's something I really want you to see, if you're up to it. Either way, it doesn't sound good. Sure, I guess. My nose was still running, but my heart felt a lot lighter. I no longer felt threatened by this school. I was comfortable and safe. The two of us left the nurse's office with Tsukasa and Lead, and even though I was holding a cold coffee in my hand, I still felt warm all over. Sus imposter alert. Neither of us said anything as he led me through the empty halls. It occurred to me that when we last saw one another, I was mad at him. Look, Shishiro, we're
ここ
here.
って
What?
渡り廊下
What? Isn't this just the walkway between the
まあ
buildings?
まあ
Just
もう
wait, you'll
すぐ
see
だ
it in a minute.
すぐ
See what? I had no idea what I was looking for. I just kept staring at him, but his eyes were fixed on the window leading out into the walkway. As I gazed upon him in profile, I felt my heart skip a beat.
昨日のこと
I had to apologize for what happened
謝らな
yesterday,
くちゃいけない
but I just wasn't sure what to say. I let my feelings get the better of me and reprimanded him for behavior. Reprimanded him for behavior that was, at least at the time, entirely reasonable. Entirely reasonable, yeah, that's what I said. There was more to it than that, though. There's one particular reason more than any other that made it hard for me to think of the words to say here. Run, run, run! He and I had run from Yoshi together. We escaped her wrath against, insurmountable odds. And what if that wasn't all just a dream?
出てきたぞ
Bingo, here we go. Huh? I followed Tsukasa's pointing finger and...
朝日
Well, that's beautiful. What an absolutely stunning sunrise. Okay, this is cute.
すごい
This is a cute moment. Well, that's beautiful. What an absolutely stunning sunrise.
ここでよく
It's actually the sunset. I enjoy watching most from here, but the sunrise is pretty great too.
綺麗だよ
It's gorgeous. The whole town is painted
血がオレン
orange.
ジ
元気出てきたな
Looks like you're back in good spirits again. This is the place that you were talking about, isn't it? Yeah, it
今ま
is.
で絶
You've
対
been
に
keeping
教
the spot
え
from
て
me
く
all
れ
this
なかった
time, so why now? Why are you showing
どうして今日
it to me today?
別に
No reason, really.
なく
The reason, huh? I could think of a reason, but I didn't say anything. It just seemed kind of far-fetched to me. And if I were misunderstanding him, I'd be embarrassed. He couldn't possibly, could he? My face felt kind of warm. I placed a sweaty cafe au lait can on my cheek and sighed softly.
どうした
You feeling okay? Your face is really red. What? It is? I'd say calm before the storm, yeah.
まだ具合悪いんじゃないのか
You aren't still feeling faint, are
そ
you?
んなこと
No,
ないよ
nothing like that. It's just, yeah, it's the sun.
ほら
Just the way the light's playing off my skin, that's all.
あ
Oh, okay.
あなるほどな
Boys can be so dense sometimes.
頑張
Good
れ
luck on the exam, by the way. If you head back now and get ready, you should still be able to
あ
make
り
it.
がとう
Thank you.
司
That's what I like
君
about
それ
you, Tsukasa.
What?
Huh? Also, I'm sorry.
なんだ
For what?
あいや
Well, it's just that yesterday things might have seemed a little awkward between us after talking about that school legend, remember?
あ
Yeah, I think I
あ
remember something
そん
like
な
that.
こともって
What do you mean something like that?
私
I
は
was really
あ
bothered by
上
it, you
司は
know?
ほんと細かい
He
こと
goes
気にする
obsessed
よ
over
な
the tiniest things
俺は
sometimes.
全然
Me, I
何
didn't
と
think
も思って
anything
な
of
かった
it.
のに
そっか
Really now? Let out another sigh and turned back toward the morning sun, stretching my arms skyward as a sudden wave of exhaustion came over me. The day got brighter bit by bit, and I just stood there silently, trying to piece together all the jumbled thoughts rattling around in my head. I was running away from Yoshi, and Tsukasa was with me when I was saved by that old
やっぱ
woman.
り
It really was just a dream,
だ
huh?
よね
As the bright rays of the sun washed over me, I felt new life and new hope welling up from within, and I finally came to terms with those horrid events. Most likely, I got my pen keys without incident, but then on my way back, something hit my head and knocked me out. That would be just my
あちょっ
luck.
とシシド
Hey, Shishido, don't move. Huh?
そのまま
Stay right there, just like
その
that.
まま
I didn't know what he was planning to do, but he was staring right at me. It felt kind of like he was staring into my soul. And then...
Eh?
What? Slowly, Tsukasa drew his face toward mine.
これ
Is
シ
he...
シド
Shishido. No way, is he really going to?
何これ
I shut my eyes. I was ready for this. Or maybe I just didn't want to look. But the next sensation I felt wasn't quite the one I was expecting.
これ
Shishido, what happened here? Huh? He grabbed my arm for some reason and was staring down at it intently.
何よ紛らわしいな
What is he doing?
The-
Whoa.
やだ
What is that? Seriously, I had no idea that was there. Turns out he was just concerned by the strange bruise that I had apparently received, which had momentarily become visible when I raised my arms. Well, fuck, it's more bruises. More bruises indicate that she's gonna die somehow because of her fucking arm. Because Naomi not Naomi. Seiko had the bruise around her neck. Mayu got torn apart and ripped open by ghost children in the last chapter. And she had that huge bruise on her stomach. And Nana had the bruise on her legs. And now this bitch got bruises on her arms. Fucking hell. It was right around my elbow. Right where Yoshi had grabbed me in my dream.
痛そうだな。
Looks like it hurts.
全然痛くない
Doesn't hurt at all, actually, but what?
うんなんでもないよ
Never mind, it's nothing. Giving a wry smile, I gently pulled my arm away from his grip.
司くん
Hey, Tsukasa?
Huh?
Yeah?
帰る前に
Before we go home, I have a favor to ask you. What is it? Would you mind if we held hands? Held hands? Yeah, just for a little bit, or is that asking too much?
という彼の言葉には
When he asked why I wanted to do this, I fed him
答えた
his own lie. I just told him no
そっと
reason.
指先を掴んだだけの
We only joined
会話のようだった
fingertips for the first time. It really felt like I was connected to another person's heart. I remember feeling so happy.
っているのを感じた気がしてとても嬉しかったのを覚えている
Did I
うー
win?
ん
Hey, Miss Yui, Miss Yui. Tsukasa.
ゆい先生
Miss Yui, please. Huh? I knew I heard that voice before, but who was it? Was I just dreaming again? There's no happy end till the moment of unit. I still felt like I was holding Tsukasa's hand, though.
ゆい先生って
Miss Yui, your hand. Huh? What?
やっと起きた
Good, you're awake. Huh? What? Mochida?
そうだよ
That's
持
right,
田
it's
聡だよ
Satoshi Mochida. The one and only, bitch. Miss Yui?
えーっと
I was still dazed. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that one of my students, Satoshi Mochida, was here, and he looked concerned. Miss Yui, your hand is... What? Oh my. I finally realized what he was talking about. I was holding Mochida's hand in my own and squeezing it awfully tight.
やだごめんなさい
Excuse me, please. I'm so sorry.
いいけどさ
Future, we're back in the
ゆ
present.
い先生結構握力強い
No problem, though I have to say, you have a really strong grip, Miss Yui. Bit, don't say that. She got that gorilla grip. Oh my god.
あらそう
Do I?
でも
Do I now?
私は
In the past, I was
か弱儚い美少女と
renowned
して
far and wide for being a
巷で
weak and
名を馳
dainty
せたもの
young beauty, you know. Yeah, sure you were.
と
How exactly do I respond to that?
厳しいわね
Well, you could say something nice. Wouldn't the first thing to be, bitch, why are you in my house? Mochida was a good student. He and I got along well. We were already falling back into our usual pattern of good-natured ribbing, except...
ちょっと待って
Wait a minute.
どう
Why
して
are you here,
持ちたくがう
Mochida?
ちにいるの
Not the gorilla grip. She got that gorilla grip.
それさっき話したじゃん
Oh my god, she has a bruise on her arm again. She's gonna die. Well, I told you earlier, didn't I? I guess I shouldn't be surprised if you don't remember
何も
anything.
覚えてないんでしょ
Says the girl ran all over and used the dang umbrella to try escaping. Hey, the umbrella worked.
何も
What am I supposed to remember exactly? What is this fucking music?
さっき俺の作ったおか
A
ゆ
little while ago, you ate some porridge I made and took medicine before passing out again. I told you everything then. You did?
本当に綺麗さっぱり
Have you
覚えてない
seriously forgotten all of that?
全然
Completely.
笑えないよ
Don't laugh. Mochida sighed and pointed at the table.
山崎
Class
先
notes
生
from Mr. Yamazaki. Wait, did you come all this way just to deliver those? Yeah, and when I did,
そ
you
した
were
ら
in
ゆい先生が
a pretty
あんまり
bad
にひど
way,
い
so
状
I
態
made
だ
you
った
some
から
porridge. Oh, don't
Kitchen
worry, I had
借りたいって言ったの
permission. Monet said I could borrow your kitchen. Monet did he? I stroked Monet's neck and he lied down contently on my futon. Such a pretty kitty. I was getting kind of wrapped up in petting him, as I often did. I almost forgot Mochida was here, until he let out a
ゆい
huge
先
sigh.
生
Also, Miss Yui, leaving your front door unlocked is really dangerous. Oh, was it open? Yeah, and you're lucky I was the one to discover
開い
that.
てて助
You
かった
really need to be
気
more
を
careful.
つけるわ
Duly noted, thanks.
なんで
Did I
笑
say something funny? No,
私
you
の
just sound
お
like my
母さん
mother.
だから
うわ複雑
Yikes, I don't think I like the implications there. I didn't mean to laugh. I must have seemed kind of deranged, but I could always blame it on the fever. Mochida looked at me and let out another sigh. My poor sense of humor must have been getting to him. Well, you sure been a lot better now
だいぶ元気
than
に
you
なっ
were
て
when
き
I
た
got
みたいで
here, so that's
よかった
something.
よ
I feel better
結
too.
構寝てたもん
You
な
slept like a rock, Miss
そ
Yui.
うね
That's right, I woke up this morning feeling dizzy and chilled. I called in sick, put out food for Monet, and I don't remember anything after that. Hey, at least she didn't say dad. True.
あれコンビニ行ったんじゃない
Oh,
の
you don't remember going to the convenience store? The convenience store? Yeah, I found
冷却
cold
シート
packs
と
and
弁当があって
snacks. Let's see.
ほらこれレシートの時間計算になってるけど
Here, look. I'm sorry, I just saw my audio capture just fucking light up red. I smacked my drink into the microphone. Sorry, y'all. Hope I didn't burst y'all ears with my water. And yeah, I'm drinking water for once, so she'll be proud of me. I'm drinking water. But I haven't eaten anything today yet. And this game's still not over. I've been hungry this whole time. Here, look, the time on the receipt. It was this
本
morning.
当だ
Oh, you're right.
もしかしてゆい先生
How could you possibly not remember going to the store? Huh.
うわーもう
Amazing. That's just seriously, you need to pull yourself together. You didn't go out in your pajamas or anything, did you?
パジャマで出かけたりしてな
Actually
いよ
healthy,
な
Pog.
そんなことは
Well, I don't think I
ど
did.
うかな
I wouldn't be surprised.
笑ってごまかさ
Don't
な
try
い
and hide beneath that laugh. Order delivery food, dude. It's funny that you think I have money. I do not have money. I've got like $60 to my name right now. And I work in a restaurant, so tomorrow I work tomorrow night. I get tips, so I should have money, but you know, I also have bills. So, you know, whatever tips I get, I have to put that straight towards bills. So I can't really afford to buy any food right now. I live with family, so you know, at least you know, live in a family budget. So I'm not the only one buying food for the house here. So there's food in the house. We got McDonald's at home, I swear. Don't try and hide behind that
ご
laugh.
めんごめん
Sorry. Were you taking care of me this whole time, Machida? Actually, I do have the McDonald's app because I'm a hungry bitch all the time. So I have like 11,000 points. I could trade those in to get free food at McDonald's. Hell yeah. Because what am I? A bargaining queen. I also have the Dunkin' app because I got a Dunkin' right down the street. So, you know, I could go there and get some free food because I am a loyal app holder.
そう
And you know, they give you
So,
royalties and they give you
goodness,
points to get free shit. And I rack that shit up. You know, I go to McDonald's and buy some shit on the app, spend some money, buy some shit, and then boom, I get tons of points and I can get free shit. Wow, I'm really sorry you had to stay this late. It was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. I couldn't believe Machida had been with me this whole time. I felt both guilty and grateful. I definitely gained a new respect for him.
おかゆまだちょっと残
There's
って
still a
るから
little porridge left if you get hungry.
あと
Thanks.
それから
And I bought these too. You went to the
冷蔵庫
supermarket?
を見たら
There wasn't anything in the fridge when I checked, so I figured I might as well. The bag was quite heavy. Inside it was a bottle of orange juice, some bananas, canned peaches, apples, and other assorted fruits.
これ
That's
風邪の時って
vitamins. When you're as sick as you were, your body needs all the help it can get to fight back. Think of it like medicine.
千田君
Machida, that much fruit couldn't have come cheap, especially for a high schooler. Well, to be honest, most high schoolers, like, and not all of them, but most high schoolers in Japan live on their own. Like, they get pretty cheap apartments, like this one that the teacher has. You know, they live by themselves without their parents. Like, most of them live on their own and have jobs and shit. Because the work culture in Japan, or in, like, any Asian countries, is, you know, very sought after and very, you know, like, the moment you're out of school or the moment you're old enough is to get a job. So, honestly, it wouldn't come shocking to me that he can buy all this food. And, you know, be so self-sufficient and caring for other people. If he lived by himself. I considered offering to pay him back. I know he doesn't, though, because in the first game we know that he lives with his sister and his mom. And I believe his dad as well. I considered offering to pay him back, but decided against it. Me. I knew he wouldn't take my money, and besides, he really appreciated the fact that he'd gone all this trouble for me. Well, if you offered to pay him back, I wouldn't exactly say no to the money. I'd return the favor another time. If it ever seemed like he was going to be staying late after school, maybe I'd buy him dinner. Or, you give me a fucking A on that test that I failed. I buy you your groceries, you give me an A on the test. There we go. Or I could help him with preparations for the school festival.
じゃあ俺帰るよ。
Well, it's getting late. I should go.
大丈夫？
Oh, will you be okay? Do you know your way back? If you'd like, I can take you at least part of the way.
大丈夫だよ。
It's fine, just get back to sleep,
まだ
Miss
上
Yui.
司じゃないんだし。
You're not better just yet. And besides, it isn't safe for a woman to walk alone at night. You're just a sweetie. Seeing how much you care just makes my heart skip a beat.
あれ
Oh, doesn't now. I'm sure you should be saying something. I'm not sure you should be saying something like that to me, Miss Yui. Huh? Why
な
not?
んで？
Michi and I joked like this a lot. Usually it made him blush and get adorably embarrassed. Girl. But not today. Today, actually, not girl. Woman, you are a full-blown woman. You are 23 years old. But not today. Today he just grinned sheepishly with a mischievous glint in his eyes. I didn't quite get it. What was his
司
angle?
君って
Who's Tsukatsu,
先
by
生
the
の
way?
恋人
Tsukatsu, by the way, Miss Yui. Is he your boyfriend? How do you...
ゆい先生寝てる
You
時
kept calling his name in your
ずっ
sleep.
とその人のこと呼んで
Tsukatsu,
たよ
Tsukatsu, you cried.
うなされ
Lost
な
in
がら
some
何度
sort
も
of wonderful
司
dream.
君
What?
誰なんだよ
So, who is he? That crafty Mochita had turned the tables on me. How embarrassing to know that I'd been calling Tsukatsu's name.
そ
Well,
それ
I hesitated to answer for a moment, but then I figured, what the hell, why not?
は司
Tsukatsu was my first love.
ふーん
Oh?
その様子じゃ
Judging by your actions earlier, you must have seriously been head over heels for him. What? Why?
だって
Well, when I got here, you thought I was Tsukatsu. It was unbelievable. Wait, what are you saying? Miss Yui, your face is beat
これ
red.
は
That's just my fever, I swear.
まあ
Mm-hmm.
いいや
Well, that's fine. I'll let you
そういう
believe
ことにして
whatever you want to believe.
あんま
Oh,
り
come on.
大人を
Whatever
から
happened
か
to
うからね
respecting your elders? You shouldn't mess with adults. Wait, he's 17, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You're 6 years apart. Me and my sister are also, in real life, me and my sister are like 6, 7 years apart. So I'm 23, I'm 22. My sister is 29. Oh, come on. Whatever happened to respecting your elders? You shouldn't mess with adults. But you're in rare form today. We never get to see you
め
like
ったに見れ
this.
ないからさ
I wasn't sure he was ever going to give me the full story of all the embarrassing things I'd done in my fevered days. And maybe it was better he didn't. Either way, I was in his debt. So he could tease me all he wanted, just this once.
おっとやばい
Oh crap, I have to
そ
get
ろそろ
going.
帰らないと
You guys going to be really angry
今
with
日はあ
me.
りがとね
Thanks for everything. It's strikeout, so please be careful on your way home.
はーい
No worries.
それじゃあ先生
And Miss
食事を
Yui,
きちんととって
you be sure to eat right
頑張って。
and get better
早く
ASAP,
教えてよ。
you hear me? Of course, I'll kick this in no time.
ファイト
Fight the good fight. Thanks.
いい子だな
What a good kid, that Mochita. I better be careful, though. He is my student after all. Come here, Monet. You sleep with mommy tonight. Sorry, I miss you, Tsukasa.
司くん
Holy shit. Let's go. We did it. Chapter 3 clear. Chapter 4 purgatory chapter is now playable. Wow, this is the first one that we didn't go back to the other world, and what was it? I finished this in 2.5 hours. Not 3 hours or 4 hours like usual. That's cool. I could keep going, but if I play chapter 4, then if that's going to be another 2 to 3 hours, this could end up being 5 hours or even 6 hours long, which I'm good with, but I haven't eaten yet or done anything, so maybe I'll stop here for now and maybe come back a little bit later today and do chapter 4, or I'll do chapter 4 tomorrow night or Thursday. Hiro Shimono, Miyuki Sawashiro, Nobuhiko Akamoto, so full testimonies are in the bonus menu. Let's look at these testimonies, because I looked at the other testimonies of everyone else so far. Thanks for your support. This is Hiro Shimono, voice of Satoshi Mochida. So, where to begin? What we got here is the sequel to Corpse Party Blood Cover, Repeated Fear, Japanese name for the first PSP game. Or I guess it would be better to say that it's the second chapter. Either way, thanks for playing Corpse Party Book of Shadows. So, just now, I just finished up with my part of the recording.
新たに収録した部分というのの、収録が終わったところなんですけれども、今回
My part was a little separate from the main story, taking place before the events of the first title.
ゲーム本編が始まる前の、お話ですね。ゆい先生と
And it was all about Miss Yui and I. Well, how can I put it?
なんていうんですか、そういう
It was like the faint sensation you get, you know, that little blushing, that sense of kind of awkward embarrassment, I guess you could say.
ちょっとやってて少し僕もね、なんか恥ずかしくなっちゃったりとか、そういう風になった感じの、そういうね、全然そういう風なこともないんです
Not
け
that
ど。
it actually amounted to anything, of course. In this chapter, Miss Yui catches a cold and Satoshi has to take care of her.
看病することになった、サトシ君ということで、本編は本当
Though really, Corpse Party is overall a lot scarier than that.
怖いという風な、本当に怖い印象
It
が
leaves you feeling kind of jittery.
しますけれどもね、結構僕もファンレター
But then I get scared just reading fan letters, to be totally honest. Period. I guess some of you turned out the lights after just the opening scene of the first game, but to me, that would just be really unnerving. Well, this time around, my part of the story with Miss Yui isn't like that at all.
ストーリーは、全く全然そういう風なこともなく、新キャラ
It
クタ
has
ー
more to do with things like the appearance of a new character and such.
ね、ちょっと触れていたりだとか、どな
But
たで
well, I
も
think pretty much anyone can handle that chapter without getting too horribly frightened or
なっ
anything.
ていたのではないかなって思うんですけれどもね。でもおそらくこれ、
Though you
ゲームク
probably
リア
know
しな
that
いと
already,
出てこ
since
ない
this
から
recording
そう
isn't
いう
available unless you clear the game or something, I would assume. So I guess those of you listening to this must have put a lot of effort into
頑張っ
it.
たんじゃないかな。ね、怖がりながら頑張った人も
Some of
い
you
れば
probably kept playing even though you were scared, and others just for fun the whole time.
なので、どちらも含めて
Whichever you happen to be, you did a great job.
よく頑張った。偉かったぞ。
You're the best.
なんだこれは。
What am I saying?
ということで、
In any case, I'm assuming some of you
まだ
have only played through the game
一回
once,
しか
right?
プレイしてないという方もきっといるのではないかなと思いますので、
Well, if that's the case for you, I'd like to note that this is a game you can easily play over and over. Maybe you're someone who's already done that, but if you're not, if you're the sort of person who's easily frightened and thought to yourself, oh, this is scary, well, why not try playing it with a friend?
ということで、
Anyway, that about wraps things up for me. I wonder if we'll be able to meet
また
again.
お会いできるのかな、どうなんだろうな。ねえ、本当に。
Wouldn't that be nice? I'd really love to keep going.
もらいたいのですが、ということで、
I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you're having fun as well.
楽しみにしててください。ということで、
This is Hiro Shimono, voice of Satoshi Mochida. Bye bye. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you for showing up, Maya. And I'll definitely be doing this either again maybe later, or tomorrow, or Thursday. Which ones did I already see? Saw this. Saw Yuka. Saw you. Okay, it's these two.
お疲れ様です。
Nice work. This is Miyuki Sawashiro, voice of Yui Shishido. So, what did you think of my chapter? Was it fun?
私はですね、
I don't think I'll be playing it personally.
自分でやることはないと思います。やることはないというか、
Or rather, I don't think I'll be able to bring myself to play it.
皆さんこれいつやるの
Actually, I have a question. During what time of day are you playing it? Are you playing it at night? I kind of hope so, because if you're playing while the sun is shining, well, that's just no fun at all, you know? Playing at night while looking over your shoulder must be a pretty cool experience. But I still don't think I could do it. You understand where I'm coming from here, right? Honestly, though, I really like school settings because they're frightening or fun. It's cool to imagine myself running down the hall or stomping down a dark stairwell, all by myself, hearing my footsteps echo back. I could almost smell it. It was so vivid, and it's been a long time since I've last experienced those sensations. I'd love to perform in a school setting again, though next time maybe I can be a little less creepy. Thanks very much. Nobuhiko Akamoto.
はい、
Hello, and good job on completing the chapter.
司役の
This is
岡本です
Nobuhiko Akamoto,
いやー
voice of
収録が終わ
Tsukasa.
った後
Well, voice recording just wrapped up.
あれですね、司
And you know
君
what?
がですね
Tsukasa is just a really cool guy.
いやー爽やかな
An invigorating dude. He's amazing.
すごいんですよ。これぜひ
It's kind of silly, but well, I want to be like him.
好きになってくださいという
Oh, I want you to like him.
思いが
I really hope
演技に含まれ
that
て
came through in my performance. I really hope he seemed just friendly and approachable. He's such a
そう
stud.
ですね
What is this? And am I surprised? I really feel like I was showing his horror during recording. Like I could feel it in myself.
いや
When I received the script, I read it naturally, like a player
ー
would.
普通に読んじゃいましてですね、めっちゃ怖いんです
And
よ
let me tell you, it was
あ
terrifying.
の人が
This person, well, not really a person anymore, I guess, huh?
人じゃないんですかね。化け物が怖いんですよ。
That monster was just really. Oh, Satsuka calls it a monster, so I'm doing the same.
いやよくですね
There sure are a lot of deaths again this time around. Yup.
言っていいのかわかんないですけど
Don't know if I should talk about it, but it's incredible. Creative Corpse Party was able to think of so many horrific ways to die.
考えられるなと本当に感動してしまいますね。僕自身ですね
See, personally, I really love
ホ
works of
ラ
horror.
ー作品というものは好きでしてそうですね
And I'm pretty desensitized at this point. I've seen my share of shocking scenes.
文字面を読ん
When
で
I was reading the
ですね
script last night,
夜中に昨日
it seriously gave me shivers down my
すご
spine.
い背中がゾッとしました。
Yeah, the whole time I swear I could hear every little sound of the house
する時に
settling.
限ってこう家がですねミシッといったりするのがですね人の気配とかを感
And I constantly felt like there was a presence in the room. Oh man, it was really spooky. Really.
コープスパーティー
If you support the character, I think there was a real possibility it could happen too. So I hope you'll give me another chance. I'd love the chance to voice Tsukasa again in another installment of Corpse Party. Recording was seriously a lot of fun. Thanks for playing. Well, that was Corpse Party, Book of Shadows, Chapter Encounter. I really hope you guys are enjoying my playthrough so far. But we'll either be back tomorrow night or Thursday. Well, what is it? With the next chapter. Purgatory. I will see you all next time. This is Moon, signing out. I'll catch y'all in the Discord. And goodbye.